What's going on? Tuesday, painter people. Welcome to another live stream for painting. How y'all doing? Thank you for the subs. Holmes the Fifth and Tubbleberry Live. Appreciate your subs, guys. What up, Leaf Striner? Maze Tranquois. Almighty Spaz. Mike Genie. Summon Lesser Maker. How you guys doing? I'm doing good. Today we're gonna paint some Greyjoy models because I have to paint my army in what is effectively a month. And so all you're gonna see on the stream between now and then are Greyjoys, and I'm gonna be painting them at home. The problem is I don't exactly know what my list is gonna be, but I'm painting stuff right now that is generally pretty useful all the time. That's what I'm doing. So we're gonna do just a month of painting your army. We're fired up for less gray. Hell yeah. Flapjack Nickel Sack.
Of course, Nationals is in 2 weeks, so Scott really wants to go in above and beyond.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he's got to paint it all in 2 weeks.
Also, Evan with the 3. I don't even know how you've been subscribed for 3 years.
I'm just that good.
How?
I'm just that good.
Before that, we'll do a little part of. We'll do a little bit of mail time. So at some point, Simon had a pledge manager. I'm not sure for what game. Thank you for the bits, Westy.
One of the many games you've kickstarted.
Right, yeah, I mean, I didn't even kickstart it. I just bought into the pledge manager after the Kickstarter.
Sure.
But I don't know what the game was for. It probably says it on the box. It's probably Zombicide.
Probably some form of Zombicide.
Yeah, but they made motherfucking Iron Maiden models.
Yeah, that's right. I remember this.
Yeah, and I bought the box that just had Trooper in it because I like that song. He's a cool model. Everyone likes that song. But what I was sent was, I believe, every version of Eddie in miniature form, and this is for Zombicide. So I got all these models now, and I wanted to paint Eddie for the Trooper Eddie for something.
So what you're saying is we have a couple of things for the giveaway box?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I don't need all these things. I just wanted one thing.
A whole army of troopers. It's gonna be sick.
What up, Evil Miniature? Glad you could make it here. First time. We have a giveaway going at 50 subs. Today it is from the Nefarious, Absurd, Scintillating Games, and it is a giant box of models that you can use to play that game. So it's a lot of modern warfare-esque characters.
There's also big monsters in it too.
Oh, big monsters as well.
Yeah, like a giant ape.
This is cool. Thank you, Simon, for sending me that. I definitely didn't pay for all of that, so I appreciate it. Okay.
Or you didn't realize it.
Or I did. Yeah, I spent like $200 on Eddie miniatures. Solo Tear, thank you for the sub. We appreciate it. But yeah, we're doing a sub giveaway at 50 subs today. So the more you sub, the higher the chances we reach that goal and run that giveaway for some free miniatures
The
somewhere.
more you sub, the more you toot.
There it is, people. We're getting into nursery rhymes territory. Okay, last time I might have alluded to this or somewhere on the internet that I was not a big fan of the Fifth Brother's head. The Fifth Brother is a model from Shatterpoint, a game made by Atomic Mass Game for Star Wars. The Fifth Brother is an inquisitor. He's a Jedi hunter, and his helmet, which is reinforced in the cartoon, I believe in comic books, and in the most recent Obi-Wan TV show, it's dumb. And I think it's mostly dumb because he's got a chin strap on, and he reminds me of a little baby boy. You know, he's got a bike helmet on. He doesn't want to fall down and hurt his head. So I got a new head, and I have it here with me, and I wanted to show you it. This is the head for the Sixth Brother that Evan is going to show you momentarily.
Sorry, I had to pick up my eye.
Yeah, you're good. So this helmet is another character from the lore that doesn't have a model made for it, and I'm torn right now. I'm like asking myself the question, like, what if they come out with a Sixth Brother figure for the Inquisitors, and now suddenly I have two dudes with the same exact head, one just a little bit different than the other? That's gonna be weird. So, I'm torn as to whether or not I'm gonna use this, but I definitely like it more than the other one. And
I mean, you could do some kit bashing. You could like put horns on it or something.
Something like that. I printed out a couple of these because I wasn't sure what scale would work. So I'm not saying this is going to be the final thing. Just necklace man.
Just makes him look more muscular when he doesn't have a neck.
Yes.
See Space Marines.
Yeah. But this looks cool. I like it because it works with the motif on his shoulders as well of all those little rectangle things. Dark helmet vibes. Yeah, a little bit of that. Obviously, there's some inspiration taken from the Darth Vader as well, and it looks a little bit derpier. Greyjoy lads just rewatching Game of Thrones. Bad things happen to plan. Don't spoil it. Broadsword War Game. Jack the Mayor, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. Do I have any suggestions for a 3D printer? Not too expensive. I don't have a suggestion for a non-cheap one, no. Everyone I've ever got has been sent to me for free. So you should never listen to me on recommendations for printers that are, I don't know, for purchasing recommendations. I don't think I am the kind of person to ask that question to. Anyways, that's the one head. And then I also got, and I have several of these as well in different scales, a head for Reva. Reva is, I believe, the third sister. And in the game, she comes with her unhelmeted head. In fact, 3 out of 4 of the models in the box have no helmet. And it looks totally fine.
I have no helmet and I must scream.
But I think this is her actual lore accurate helmet. This one's a little bit too big. I need a smaller one. But this is way fucking cooler. This helmet is so cool. And so I'm definitely chopping her head off and putting this helmet on. That'd be really cool. You like the pose? King Skya? I think this pose is also really cool, like where he's like chopping in half that piece of terrain. This piece of terrain is not in the box art for the model, which is a little mind-blowing. I feel like you would definitely want to include that in the box art because it just makes the model look cooler and would hopefully sell it better if that were the case. So those are some hobby updates for me. New helmets and whatnot. Eddie models. Lastly, for video production, what I'm working on right now is finishing up my Age of Sigmar army. And I'm painting these models you can see right in front of me. These are 3D prints. They're meant to be proxies for Graveguard, and they're kind of like Blood Knights, but on foot. That's like the vibe I'm going for. And I'm past the oil wash stage. I have varnished them with matte varnish because they were very glossy beforehand. And now I am reapplying red highlights, and I wanted to show you one with the highlights reapplied to kind of get your guys' thoughts on them. What do you think? I kind of feel like it's maybe a bit too much red and needs to be broken up a little bit, but I don't know if that problem is not easily solvable, then I don't know, maybe I was considering making their teeth copper. Because that'd be cool. It calls to attention vampire teeth, which is like a huge part of their design language, sharp teeth. People are liking it. Looks sick. Dude.
I think it looks good. Here's my suggestion.
Yes, sir.
That little stripe of armor down the middle could be an accent color.
Oh, yeah. I guess it could be.
And that would break up the big monolithic red brick. Yeah, or I feel like putting it in the center would call a little bit too much attention to it. If I did the third lines, that one and that one, that might also. But that's a great idea. That's a great example of how, even though it is the same piece of armor, you could totally do that, and that would improve the paint scheme. And that's not an obvious thing to do because it is one piece of armor. That's a good idea, though, Evan. I might do that with like some navy blue on the sides or something, or in the middle. Looks sick. Feels unlikely they'd put out another Inquisitor pack, at least in the near future. In worst case scenario, you have a proxy to play as either. That's true, Xander Zone. That's very true. And I think the reason why they put out this Inquisitor pack is because it was in Obi-Wan, the TV show, and so I doubt that other Inquisitors are going to make it into large Disney franchise TV shows. So it's probably a fear that's not well placed. The mask of the helmet could be a different color, like bone white. Also a great idea. Could make the mask, like even just the entire lower jaw could be like a different color, and that would be kind of cool. Make it like your Blood Knights and give them different patterns. That's cool. I like that idea. I want to note that I didn't put battle damage on here because the story of these guys is that before you become a Blood Knight, you have to go through this unit. And so the Blood Knights have more battered armor than these guys do because they've seen some shit. I also have like stories about why there are chalices on their shoulders and stuff. I can't wait to make this fucking sick video about
my backstory that no one's gonna watch. But I can't wait to do it anyways because it's so much fun. All right, could you give the shoulders a edge highlight to break up the color and draw more attention to the shoulders and head? You could do that. It might look a little bit too striking to have like effectively striped and scalloped. So it's like striped painted, scalloped, sculpted shoulders. It might be a little bit too busy. But these are all ideas. If you like that pose, lightsaber cutting things in half, check out Juan Sanz's Flesh Terror, cutting a Death Guard in half that he did for inspiration. You know, I feel like I've seen something like that on Instagram. Maybe it's from that exact person or from someone who was inspired by that person. I don't know. But let's get on to painting what we wanted to paint today, which is going to be some Drowned Men, because Drowned Men are fucking great units in a Greyjoy army. And we started last week. And what we
weren't happy.
Yeah. What we started from was this undercoat that you see on all the unpainted parts. We started from that undercoat, and we had applied a translucent layer of skin tone to the model. And so you can see a lot of this blue and gray and yellow still peeking through the skin tone. And then we started to apply highlights to it selectively. So down here on the thigh, we gave it darker highlights. Here up here, we gave it brighter highlights. And now on the face, which I'm not done yet with, we'll give it even brighter highlights. And then we'll work on the third Drowned Men. The first one we already finished last week, and you can catch the VOD of that on the Miniac's backlog channel. And he is right here. We did that toward the end of the stream. All right, let's finish this guy's face and work on the third one. That's all for my initial spiel. Let the live streaming, question answering, chat interacting begin. Evan, how you doing?
Pretty good.
How was your weekend?
I played Armored Core. That's it. That's my whole weekend.
Is that a
robot game?
Is that a video game?
Yeah.
Is it uniquely different from Titanfall?
Yes.
In what way?
Titanfall is a movement first-person shooter that just also happens to have robot mode.
Okay.
Armored Core is... See, you don't watch anime, really?
No.
So trying to put a frame of reference on it is difficult, but it's very much more in vein of like Gundam the game.
Okay.
Or something like that. It's not quite the same sort of world, but it's more in that space where you're in a incredibly hyper-powerful, top-tier type of giant robot fighting against all sorts of other giant robots. Yeah, small Pacific Rim. Nah, it's way faster than that. It'd be like if you turbocharged Pacific Rim.
Okay. But it's more, and when asking that question, it was silly, because you're right. Titanfall isn't even like a mech first game. It's like, it's like a mech secondary thing. So
yeah, the mechs in that setting are sort of like combat support units. But yeah, De Kratzberg, I am a Gundam enjoyer, but I haven't really watched any of the animes in about a little over a decade, probably. Yeah. Game was good. I beat it on Saturday. I just did a single really super long session. I need to do an additional 2 playthroughs now because there's another ending and then the secret ending.
For Armored Core?
Yeah.
So it's a single player game predominantly?
Yeah. There's a like arena combat mode where you can 1v1 other people online, but other than that, it's a single player game.
Is the multiplayer version of the game like worthwhile, or is it like obviously just like a tacked on thing?
Historically, arena mode has been a niche but very enjoyable thing. I played a lot of multiplayer in the 4th game in the series, which was on Xbox 360.
Okay.
And I played a lot of that.
Okay.
Forest Wizard has a good recommendation. If you haven't ever watched a Gundam anime and you're curious, you can just start with the best one, which is the 08th MS team, which isn't even truly a Gundam anime because they don't actually pilot true Gundams. They're piloting like regular mobile suits or slightly upgraded mobile suits.
What's the name of it?
The 08th MS team.
I feel like I need to see this typed out somewhere.
It's Forest Wizard's message. 08.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched Iron Blooded Orphans yet, Mike Kinney, but I did my model from it when I went out with Alex a couple months ago. So,
I like how Mike Genie is like, Evan is incorrect. Why do we not have a Weaves detected emote here? You know, I love to hate on people who like anime, but I also like some pretty fucking dumb shit too. So it's hard to not call the kettle black. I mean, yeah, it's hard to.
Scott likes anime. He just doesn't admit it.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I watched Princess Mononoke and I was like, this fucking rules.
Yeah. Yeah, the 08th MS team is not a long watch. It is a short experience.
Okay, that's helpful for me.
Also, hang on.
I have such an easier time like watching a movie. Because like it's just like I don't mind like investing an hour and a half to 2 hours of my time trying something out, but like I just can't invest that same amount of thing for TV shows. Scott ear cam. Whoo!
Yeah, the whole back of your head was blocking the model there for a bit. I was gonna freeze the screen to show you, but then you moved out of the way.
I'm going to just turn my camera just a little bit on an angle so I don't have to get as much in front of where the camera is pointing. Just a tiny bit.
It's true. It is not hard to like Princess Mononoke. That's a brilliant movie.
I think, yeah, to give more context as to why I said that, I watched Spirited Away and I was like, I don't get it. It was a fine movie, but it wasn't like, and there's a lot of reasons why I didn't think it was amazing. But it didn't blow me away like I had been led to believe Miyazaki movies should. And then I watched that and then I was like, okay, this is definitely more my speed. And I really enjoyed that one instead. So it was coming off of the back of watching that one and being less impressed.
I hate Instagram on computer, by the way.
They have a smart app for it, and I actually did not know that until recently discovering it.
It's just so awful. Why can't I like full screen a picture?
Yeah, I mean, good luck.
Pretty much.
Do Howl's Moving Castle next. That would not be a bad one. How do you get that ear to look so realistic? I didn't even paint an ear. Oh, my ear, nice. Movie length anime assignments while Scott is at home grinding out Greyjoys. Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, and the OG Ghost in the Shell. I will watch those. I will not do it while I'm painting though, just because I can't watch something for the first time and paint. That's not fair to the content. I gotta actually like watch it and give it time of day.
I wanted to highlight the Instagram post that people were suggesting if you want things cut in half, which is why I'm dicking around on Instagram.
Yeah, I've seen this.
This thing is awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Super, it feels so in motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely cool. Okay. This old man doesn't have much of an eye socket or with what seems like an eye to paint, and so I am just stabbing in where I think the eye is to create some darkness so that I can paint an eye in.
Darkness. Team fuck eyes.
Team fuck eyes. I mean, okay, I just one-shotted this. I didn't mess up at all. Easy, right? Come on, team fuck eyes. You can see how easy that was, right?
Putting darkness in there is easy, you're right.
Let's do the white.
Someone make me an emote for Team Fuck Eyes. I don't think we can have swear words in there, but TFE might get the point across. As a thought, I don't think that we can do that either. This is like LeBron being like, just charge the net. It's easy. See how easy I just did it? True.
Am I the LeBron of miniature painters?
Apparently so.
Dark part.
Eyes with an F in it. I like that. Yeah, angling your camera did not work, Scott, if you want to take a look at that.
Hold on. I am mixing paint on my palette, so I'm reaching across the palette. I have not painted the model yet after moving the camera. All right. How does this feel for a spot? Pretty good. Okay. All right. This is like literally the hardest thing I'll ever have to paint. Is my face in the way of the camera?
No, you're good.
Okay. Good. All right. So that isn't done yet, but now we've located the spot. So now I'm not like you don't think about painting an eyeball in a traditional way. I'm not stroking the model with the brush. There are not brush strokes going on. I am finding the spot, and then I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, but I'm never moving the brush away from the spot that I found. Okay? So I don't know if that seems obvious, but it's worth stating because maybe you're a beginner and it's like you think you are actually stroking the eye with the bristles of your brush, but you absolutely are not. That is ridiculous. Scott is way cooler than LeBron. How about Scottie Pippen? Thank you, I appreciate that.
Sex tips with Scott. Don't stroke, just push.
Bigger and bigger with the eyeball. Sadly, we lost a little bit of that blue that separates the eye from the skin, which is not what I'm trying to do. But oftentimes when I do that on models like this, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I would redo it if it was like a more important mini, but it isn't. Kind of like that. You see how there's like a tiny, thin blue line in between the eye and the cheek? I would never be able to paint that. That's only possible because I did the blue first and then the white second. All right, now with that done, and I'm using kind of like an off-white grayish color. Now I'll try to paint a iris / pupil. And when doing this, I have to come into the model on this kind of angle, because like this is not gonna work, right? I'm gonna paste the entire eyeball pretty much, unless you're practiced doing this. I'm not practiced doing this, so I'm gonna come at it at this angle from the bottom, and undoubtedly I'm going to get some blue on his eyelid, and that's totally fine. I'll just repaint the eyelid, and I expect that to happen. So that's why I paste the entire eyeball every time. It's just like, yeah, you think about it, like obviously I have way more accuracy to put a dot on his eye. When my brush is oriented like that, you can see it right now. There's almost like a pseudo iris there. But if I come like this, then I have to like accurately angle it so that I'm doing the same thing that's already forced by doing that. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. I just grimdark it with shades to avoid this process because my hands are too shaky. I'm curious. I'm gonna illustrate something. This is natural shake for me. I'm not trying to move my left hand right now, the one that's holding the model. It's just moving. Okay? All right. My elbows are now on my desk. Okay, much less side-to-side motion, but now it's kind of in the fingertips. Okay? Now my hands are touching the thing. The cork. Okay? Much less side to side, much less micro vibrations. Okay? Now my wrists that are touching are now touching my desk edge. A little bit of shake, but if I hold my breath and really focus, even less. It's like you need to do all of these things to not shake at all. So I'm not saying you're not
release
shaky.
the shot to kill the president.
Right, yeah. I'm not saying you're not shaky. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you're just not doing it right. But I want you to know that everything, every point of contact, and the closer the point of contact is to where you need the dexterity, the more important it is. So everything up here where your paintbrush is important. It's way more important than your elbows. For instance, this is without elbows on anything. Pretty fucking accurate still. I don't necessarily need the elbows, but they help a little bit. You gotta snipe the eyeball in between heartbeats.
That's right. Take some diazepam.
Scabber, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. 26 months. The Miniature Tavern, rating with a party at 13. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate the raid. All right, enough talk. Let's fuck up this eyeball. And even after all that, you may still mess up. That's the important lesson. That's okay. Roll with the punches. I want to make sure I get this screw up in camera. Again, I am expecting to get paint on his eyelid. Prescription depressants are 100% the actual solution. Okay. Also, this first eyeball determines where the other eyeball is gonna go. So I have him kind of staring a little bit forward, a little bit off to his right. So kind of off to that way. And so I'm going to put the other pupil / iris kind of on the right side of his eyeball. The right side of his left eyeball. Camera left though. So I'm gonna be biasing it toward this direction because of how I did that eyeball. And I did not plan to put the eyeball off center a tiny bit. It just happened. I rarely when I'm painting an eye do I need the model to look in a specific direction. That does happen, but nowhere near as often as me just fucking doing it randomly. Dr. Fiasco, love that name. Thank you so much for the subscription, appreciate it. Eyeballs are so hard to paint on those little guys. I agree with you, Miniature Tavern. They definitely are. It's definitely one of those things in our hobby, like painting light colors like white, that is difficult. Another thing that there's so many things I'm not talking about. Okay, this one, I really fucked up. I couldn't, but it's okay. I got the paint on his cheek. The color that I'm using is the exact same color as that blue, as the original recessed shade, so I don't gotta redo that. And when I just paint the top of his cheek to get rid of that big fuck up, we'll see how far away I am from an actually completed model, or completed face. But that one was hard. There was like his brow is like shading it, and so it's hard to see where all this shit is. But now, let's do a little bit of cleanup on a part of the model that's much easier to paint. The eyelid. And what I'm realizing about this particular eye is that I think I did fuck it up beyond fixing. I painted too much of the eye that dark color. Totally fine. I'll just redo it. But now you know, that's just kind of that's my process. Also, you want paint that's wet in your bristles so that you're not fighting it and it flows off nicely. That's super important. You need a nice sharp tip as well. That's super important. There are a lot of things that make the bread, as it were.
Did you call out Dr. Fiasco in level 76 Metapod?
I got Dr. Fiasco, but not the second one, though.
Well,
Well.
Thank you for the subscription, level 76 Metapod. Subscribing with Prime.
Easyberg, is there an ETA for the Elves Masterclass? There isn't one. There is not an actual ETA. I could say a date, but I don't know if that'd be accurate, and I could be lying to you, and I don't want to disappoint you. I do acknowledge that not having a date is bad. I should have one because that would encourage me to finish it by that date. I will tell you that there is progress being made constantly on the courses every single week. Ben's course, for instance, is completely done. Other than I have to do one last thing. I have to strip the fucking model, which I hate, but I have to do that for his class because he wants me to.
You know, I don't know if this is true on that sculpt, but the canonical art, their eyes are closed.
You did mention this last time.
Yeah, like here's the image from the unit card.
Yeah, it's possible that they should be closed. But honestly, I've painted so many eyes that are like this, where it's like there is no actual eyeball to paint, so I'm kind of used to it.
Also, apparently their teeth are horrible, jagged lines, which is terrifying.
Oh, you got sharp, nasty teeth.
Looks like broken wood. We're back.
Welcome back. Sorry about that. OBS crashed on us, and we lost connection to the internet. That's the second time now in 2 streams that's happened. Oh, God.
We need another lav mic for that.
This is a lav mic in my asshole, dude.
Yeah.
Battery camera ran out.
No, OBS just being OBS.
Before the stream died, Azathoth asked why Ben insists that I strip the model, and it's because he's proving a point. And the point is that it does not matter how attached you are to a piece. If there's a thing that needs correcting, you should correct it, period. Like, so if you got problems that you can fix, you should fix it. And oftentimes you don't need the nuclear option of fucking stripping the whole paint job, obviously. But yeah, that it's metaphorically related to that point.
I don't, but I did look into it a little bit.
Scott, stop hacking your own stream.
The rate that you're getting
Blood of the blood god. So it looks like he got hit. Yeah, and just put it on his face.
the market has
Saving kingdoms, painting minis. Painting Greyjoys just in time for nationals. Yes. Yes.
yeah.
All right. Let's redo the white of this eye and see if we can't get it right the second time.
It's some characters.
This isn't too bad. Now I will repaint that lower eyelid again.
The upward.
It's not perfect though. I didn't nail it.
Yeah, and that's I would say that's about on curve.
Okay. It's not perfect, but you know what, chat? I'm kind of happy with it, so I will live with that. I'm kind of sad that there's no blue line that separates that other eye from the bottom of his eyeball, but this is okay. This is okay for me. Okay. Time to work on that third face. All right, the third face is a bit scuffed. I dropped this model on the ground actually last stream, and I rolled over it with the wheels of my chair and just totally broke the model. Like actually his foot, you can't see it, but his foot also broke off and I had to glue that back on. But he got fucking wrecked. It's not bad enough that I don't think I can paint it and it'll look okay. So I don't really care to fix it. So I'm just going to paint over this catastrophe.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I freeze in place every time I drop anything, yeah, it's just like, you're just kind of like, oh, is it over there? Is it over there? Yeah, totally get that vibe. At some point, his pockets will rip open. Yeah. This damage on his arm That wasn't from the chair. There was a heinous mold line there. Like there's another heinous one right there. But it was kind of even worse, honestly. And I had to get rid of it. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of the other one too. Let's see if we can find my X-Acto knife. Okay, I don't have one that I can see visibly, but this one's my big one. Nobody fucking move. Everything is fixable except throwing resin on your painted models. That's fucking brutal. Do you know of any good guides or videos on taking better cell phone pictures of minis? I followed a few different ones, and my pictures still look like poop. And somehow manages to magnify every tiny bit of texture that isn't visible to the human eye and make all the layers look terrible.
So, some cell phones you will never be able to take good pictures with because of how it messes with it via algorithms. Because you can't get an actual raw picture.
Yeah. And so that kind of is, so to answer your question, I don't know of any cell phone guides explicitly, but maybe I can help a little bit with that. And the idea is you essentially want to turn off post sharpening. That is the thing that's fucking with you the most. So if you can find like a third-party app that's like a manual photography mode of your camera that allows you to turn off post processing, you will be able to take a picture that doesn't amplify the sharpening. You might lose out on other helpful things that cell phone photography does do for you, like HDR, for instance, is a really useful setting that a lot of people with cell phones totally take for granted. But yeah, that will stop the sharpening at the very least.
The thing is it really boils down to what your cell phone allows you to do.
Yeah.
I've had cell phones that allow you to basically mess with everything, and if you want the raw signal, you can get it. And I've had cell phones that literally don't allow you to access any of that stuff other than like manual focus.
Yeah. That's probably true. The only phone that I've ever tried it on was a Pixel 3, and it seemed to work great. But I am certainly not a subject matter expert when it comes to cell phones. I'm a techie nerd, and I like technology, but cell phones I just don't give a shit about.
I'm in the same camp. I only care about cell phones when I'm actively shopping.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm really just kind of going, okay, but what's the best deal, though?
Yeah.
I want a big enough screen, and I want my cell phone to not suck.
Yep.
Cool. We did it. What's on sale?
Jim Kerman says that Uncle Adam's got a decent one. That's good to know. I've used Lightroom before, but they changed the app and it's more awkward now. There's two versions of Lightroom. There's Lightroom Classic and the other Lightroom, which is like a more modern interpretation of what a UI should look like. So maybe if you tried Lightroom Classic, that would work for you. And with my Adobe Creative Cloud, I can install both versions of the app. They're like two separate things. It says LRC and LR.
So I have a separate suggestion for people.
Please.
Which is, if you just want to take photographs of miniatures, you do not care about like shooting movies or any of that kind of stuff, you can get older DSLRs that don't do video for very, very cheap.
Yes.
You know, like you can get an old Nikon D40 for less than $100.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than 50.
And honestly, those cameras are incredibly capable at taking beautiful photos.
Right, exactly. It will look better than any cell phone camera as long as you have like good lighting and so on. You just basically look for an early generation DSLR that just shoots stills, because you're not trying to shoot movement. You're not going out and shooting a rodeo or a sports game or whatever where you want the most modern, most sensitive, adjustable sensors, blah, blah, blah. You're taking photos in controlled environments. It doesn't matter.
I think As a Thought shares an opinion that a lot of people agree with. I'm here to paint minis. I don't also want to be a photo hobbyist. In that case, use your cell phone. Put it on a little cell phone tripod. You can't really see it because it's over here next to me, but you can get little cell phone tripods. Use a timer so you have no handshake, and try to turn off sharpening. If you did all those things and the thing is well illuminated and it's on a background that's suitable for the model, you'll solve a world of hurt.
Yep.
But it's hard. I would say most times you want probably a gray background just because your phone's going to do all this crazy auto exposure bullshit. And if you use a gray background, that's probably good for most subjects.
Yeah, if you use a black background, it's going to try and force you into night mode.
Yeah, or if you're heaven forbid photographing a dark model in a white background, good luck.
Yep.
Like it's going to underexpose your subject because the majority of your screen is white.
Yeah.
So I would say probably most times you're going to use a gray background, maybe black background. You can see how it works for your specific phone. ProCam X is a decent Android app for fine-tuning camera settings. Thank you, Rufus. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of apps that theoretically let you do it. It's just some phones have it completely locked down in their, hardware settings in their BIOS or whatever.
Yep.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, sorry, ProCam X can't access this setting.
Precisely. Bright lights against a dark background and lower the exposure. Take all your minis to the Sears Portrait Studio. Yeah, Lumix B said it. Take your minis to the glamour shots in the mall. That's hilarious. I wish getting the shots off a digital camera was easier than fuck with file transfers, sorting through pictures and shit with my Olympus is a pain in the ass. Yeah.
Scott, have you ever watched Akira?
No, I have never watched Akira.
Maybe that should be at the top of anime recommendations for Scott.
I know it's a popular one. I would be happy to watch it.
Yeah, now chat's going to go nuts because you admitted you haven't seen Akira.
Oh my god, you haven't seen this thing that I love so much? Oh, no, could you? You're not even a human being. All right, ran over.
It is...
Have you ever watched Shakira? Yes, I have. So...
I think Akira might be in like the top 20 most important movies ever made. As far as how it influenced movie making and the world of animation in particular, but also other stuff.
It's hard to appreciate those things as someone who's not interested in the medium after the fact. It's like telling someone to watch Star Wars now and be like, this changed everything. Can't you see that? And it's like, it's a fucking cheesy sci-fi movie. Who cares?
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's good to know that, though.
I'm just saying it's one of those films that isn't just popular, it's also important. Because it was like groundbreaking in a big way. It was also, I think, the first anime movie that got a theatrical release here that ended up being popular in any way.
I will watch it, and it is good to know that info beforehand.
It's also incredibly brutal and disgusting, which I know you'll enjoy.
I don't necessarily enjoy that about horror movies. I can just tolerate it.
You'll enjoy it.
There's some element of like, oh, I can't look away from this needle going inside someone's esophagus. But I don't seek that out. I'm not fucked up.
Sure.
Sure. Lila Mev has a good video on phone photography as well. Good. I have a buddy that's 31 who's never seen Star Wars, and there's no way he should see it now because he'd hate it. That's kind of where my wife's at. She's like seen Episode 5 and Rogue One, and that is it. That's all she's seen. And it's just like, is it worth it? Like, I want you to watch this and I want you to love it like I love it. But like it's just not gonna happen. We're totally different places than when I watched it when I was little, you know? It also showed Americans that anime isn't for kids as a whole. Very important for the medium as a whole. Nice. Okay, that's important. That's rough. Episode 5 and Rogue One are the two best. Yeah.
Here we go again. Time for Evan to rant about how Rogue One isn't really that good. I agree, Azathoth, but unfortunately, I have never experienced that. Have you seen the new Mission Impossible yet?
No.
You wanna? Oh. I don't think it's been quite that long, but pretty close. All right.
You heading out? Okay.
Level 76 Metapod, yes. I have seen the original Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. The original Mission Impossible is fantastic.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
It's
Scott,
so much
which
fun.
one's the original Mission Impossible?
I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming the one I'm talking about is the first one with Tom Cruise, but maybe it's one even before that.
Before that, it was a TV show in the 70s.
Oh, nice. Yeah. The first one with Tom Cruise, though, is a legitimately good movie. It's very enjoyable to watch.
What? Mike Genie, I didn't see anything about that. Henry Cavill starring in a Highlander reboot?
Please, no.
Directed by the John Wick team? Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm in.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to think to myself, who would I hire? And it's like, I don't fucking know. So sure, I'll watch it. I will say that generally, I feel like Henry Cavill can only do Superman in my eyes and nothing else. I've never seen him in another movie where I was like, yes, this is great for him. What's another Henry Cavill movie? Yeah, just movie that you'd be like, damn, he's killing this role. He's in a spy movie.
He's in one of the Mission Impossible.
Something about Uncle?
Yeah, the man from Uncle. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a big fucking bruiser in a Mission Impossible movie, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's good at that.
He killed it in that.
He's good at that, yeah.
He has the stupid thing where he reloads his arms.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of the most
Oh yeah,
notorious
he's like,
clips where he-
let me unroll my sleeves kind of thing like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah. Man from Uncle was okay. You're right.
I really enjoyed that. I was sad that didn't do better because I would have liked to see more of that.
Yeah, that was
also, by the way, the same thing as Mission Impossible. The Man from Uncle was a TV show in that same era of that same sort of genre.
Okay. Did not know.
He was great as Geralt. That show sucked, but he was great as Geralt.
I can't get over the voice. So it was so forced that I couldn't. I just spent my entire time thinking about it and hearing it, and it kept taking me out of the show every time I would listen to him speak. It's like, this is not your normal voice, and that's so obvious, and it's frustrating. Which seems like a bad critique, but it just really messed with my immersion. He has sword skills.
Yeah, but like, what about characters that are just completely overdubbed by other actors? Isn't that bad?
It's less bad because it's not something that's trying to be hidden. It's like when I listen to dubs, it's like this is part of the experience, and my brain can turn it off. But when it's like we are trying to act, which is some amount of hiding the fact that we're portraying characters, and it's obvious you're not doing a good job at hiding it, then it becomes obvious. It is bizarre though, saying that out loud. It shouldn't work that way in my brain, but for some reason it does.
I think that you're expressing something ineloquently that does make sense, but the way you've expressed it, and it becomes in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense. Because it's like a lot of the most iconic performances all time are including an actor putting on a very different voice than normal.
Yeah, I mean, and that's totally fine. I guess I would just need to hear it. Maybe, in my opinion, Cavill's rendition of that voice is bad.
I think that there is a piece of Cavill's performance of that he's a fan of the video games and he's trying to capture that for the audience.
Oh, okay, that's a video game thing. I did play the video game. I thought the video game was referencing the book and that they said his voice was that way or something.
Maybe, I don't know, but like ultimately speaking, Geralt's voice in the video games is played by effectively a radio DJ, and he's got a very, very deep and gravelly voice, and he puts it on a little heavier. And Cavill basically tried to do the same thing, and I agree. It's the weakest part of his performance.
Yeah, I should get over it. I should. I mean, the show is also has other problems, though.
The first season was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And then the second season, I was like, we're done. I have not watched the third season. I'm not going to bother. And Cavill's exit from the show has been just a spectacular shit show. So
Someone said, "Can we go back to Vin Diesel being the beloved nerd in Hollywood?"
I mean, Vin Diesel continues to be the beloved nerd in Hollywood.
I'm okay with either of them.
Vin Diesel also actually has the voice that is like a tar pit coming out of a mouth.
See, there's like, why couldn't Jeremy Irons be Geralt of Rivia? That guy's fucking voice is like a rock tumbler.
Or you mean like Michael Ironside?
Yeah. Either any of these people, I think, have a voice that would not have been. Maybe it's because I have prior knowledge hearing what they speak like.
You know, it's funny too. The voice is so important to some of these characters, but not all of them. It's like Michael Ironside has had a bazillion roles throughout voice acting and movies and stuff. But there's only one role that I tie his voice to being like, if it's not him playing the character, then it's not that character. And that is Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series. Because he played that character like 8 times or whatever. And then when they were like, okay, well, we're replacing him because he's semi-retired, I was like, so you're going to have it star someone other than Sam Fisher, right? And they were like, no, we have a new actor for Sam Fisher. And it's like, we're done here. I'm not playing this game.
We're done here.
There's no point. Ron Perlman for Geralt? Yeah, sure. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He's got too big of a face, you know?
The Satanic Jesus, I liked Altered Carbon Season 2. I thought it was pretty good.
Ron Perlman for Geralt Kappa.
Oh, yeah. Mike Genie, that's definitely true. The show is suffering from the same problems that the Halo show and a bunch of other adaptations have, where they hired people on the basis of, hey, can you adapt this thing? And they said yes, and then what they want to do is go, okay, but we want to just make our own thing in this genre and pretend that we're adapting something. So the sooner we can leave all of that existing stuff behind and do our own thing, the better. Which is not a good place to be in.
Ron Perlman also is a geek. Didn't know that. Who hated the new Hellboy movie? Let's get a
the one where it wasn't Ron Perlman playing?
No, it was the deputy from Stranger Things. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
let's get a poll in chat going for people who have seen both Hellboys. No, just the new one. Just the new one, the 2019, 2021. Was that movie bad? Yes or no? I want to know. I want to know what the
Hellboy 2020 sounds like a different movie.
It kind of does.
It's like Hellboy in the future.
It's like Doom Eternal or Doom 2016.
Yeah, exactly. It just to me it reads like a cyberpunk thing where it's like an alternate.
I like that.
He doesn't have an arm from hell. It's a cyber arm.
Yeah.
In the future, Satan is real. Hellboy reboot. Good. Nah. Didn't see.
That's good. Way to involve everyone, Evan.
I had to put a category for me.
The only good Doom game is UAC Labs. I'm not even sure. Is that a level in one of the games? I feel like it is.
I mean, my favorite Doom level is the My House.
Wait, what? My House?
There was I posted, or maybe someone else posted the video in the Discord. And speaking of, if you want to have access to the Miniac Discord, you can get subscribed. And then you can see all of the inane video links that I put up and other people put up. Someone made a sprawling, wild, recursive loop loosely based off of the book House of Leaves. It's a Doom level. It's a Doom level, in quotation marks, that is like 150 megabytes or something. So you know it's not just a level. But it's like super deceptive and uses a bunch of tricks and stuff, and it's very, very, very cool.
That is kind of cool.
And there are a few YouTubers that made in-depth videos on it, but there's one that's just like excellent. But it's like an hour and a half long in-depth essay. I keep thinking about like quotes from that mod though, because it also has associated lore.
Evan Fish said that he is about to jump into a Song of Ice and Fire with some Baratheons. Very nice. Have fun. I like Baratheons. I like they're if I remember correctly, they're big tanky armor forward.
If you're playing Stannis side, that's what they do basically.
Yeah. Lots of.
Who said this?
Evan Fish.
Oh, I see it. All right, I'm about to jump into Song with the Baratheons. Yep.
UAC Labs was a custom map back in the day made by Reb Doomer. Real name Eric Harris. So again, wish you didn't read that. Why would you put it in the chat if you didn't want someone to read it, my friend? Yeah, for those who are paying attention to what I'm doing, I'm going back and forth with my skin tones here at my palette, which today are AK Interactive's base flesh, light flesh, and highlight flesh. I'm doing very little thinking right now. And I'm going back and forth with, if we get a palette cam of what I have in my palette here. Is it out of focus? Is it out of focus? It looks like it's out of focus.
Maybe slightly. It's very close.
Here, let me see if I can get it better. Nope, that's worse.
There you go. It's real sharp. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, now it is.
Okay. So, what I have here is 3 unthinned paints, and then this paint is a combo of this one and this one, so it's a step in between, and it's thinned. And this puddle of paint is a combo of this paint and that paint, and it's thinned. And it allows me to glaze in between layers to get a smoother blend. And if I just do that every now and then, a couple times, then it gets nice and smooth. Or it gets as smooth as I want it to get. This is a fucking unimportant unit in my army. It was not unimportant, but it's a wargaming figure, so I don't need it to be that smooth, but a little bit of control is nice. Okay. Let's keep bumping up the highlights on his shoulders here. I'll use pure light flesh. So yes, the keen-eyed observer will notice that this guy has pretty much no nose. At least from what I can tell, he has no nose. And that's because not because of the chair. The chair actually fucked up his face, and the nose was like hanging off of it, and so I chopped it off with an X-Acto knife. And I
did not mess up your model.
No, I did. Did I say your name?
You said the chair.
The chair. It's all your fucking fault. But no, I want to see if I can paint it to not be so heinous. I think I'll be able to. We'll see though. The chair. Yeah, that also frustrates me too, Mike Genie. It takes me out of movies when someone is like unbelievably stupid, and that's what drives the plot forward. That's basically how like 90% of horror movies work.
I'm fine with that if that is actually what the character is.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a problem with horror movies when it's supposed to be like average person keeps making the dumbest possible decision.
Yeah.
But obviously, I don't have a problem with it when I'm watching like Zoolander.
Right.
And they are in fact just the dumbest possible people, and that is what drives the plot. But that's fine because that's the point of the movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, what I need to see is a horror movie with Zoolander.
They do. It's Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I still haven't seen that one. That's not
what that movie is.
I try to convince my wife to watch it, but she won't.
It's really good.
She's like, it's a horror movie. I'm like, but it's supposed to be funny. Just watch it with me, please.
It's definitely not a horror movie. It's a comedy.
Okay. Someone tell my wife that, and then I'll watch it with her. But I am holding out that she will at some point watch it with me.
But no, that is... it's not the stupidest possible people. It's just a ridiculous string of mistakes. Yeah, it's a comedy based off of horror tropes. Yep, that's exactly how it describes it.
So it's kind of like Cabin in the Woods.
No. Cabin in the Woods is still a horror movie.
Yes.
It's also in the same way that Scream is. It's like playing on horror movie knowledge, just in a different way.
I said it's kind of like Cabin in the Woods.
Okay, fine.
I know it's not. I know it's that one's scary. I have seen that one.
This one is not in universe aware of itself in the same way that Cabin in the Woods and Scream are.
Okay, so yeah, that one is playing on tropes, but it's not fourth wall breaking.
It's the filmmakers playing on tropes rather than like the universe itself being like, I know what's supposed to happen next.
What'd you get? You got Wendy's, chat. Are we gonna judge editor Alex for Wendy's today?
Wendy's is good.
Wendy's is good.
I can't remember the last time I had Wendy's ever in my life.
Wendy's is probably my favorite national fast food burger.
Yeah. Anyone looking forward to Rebel Moon? Yes, dude. I saw Zack Snyder working on a sci-fi space opera called Rebel Moon, and I was like, is this supposed to be Star Wars? It isn't, but it fucking sounds like it. And it's
what is with Michael Bay and the moon?
Wait, what? Michael Bay on the moon?
I mean, sure, but no. I'm
why
just
not?
We've got like 2 or 3 movies now of his that like feature the moon in the title. Because the second Transformers movie was Dark of the Moon.
Oh yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah. Wait, no.
His was just Dark of the Moon.
That's a Pink Floyd album. Yeah.
Dark Side of the Moon is a Pink Floyd album, not just a Pink Floyd album.
It is the one. Yeah, it is the one everyone knows. Okay.
Azathoth Ambulance was awesome.
Ambulance, what's that one?
Oh wait, no, that wasn't Zack Snyder.
Midwest food situation sounds rough. Why did you just say that random? What does that have to do with anything? Because it's wrong. Our food is fucking litty here in Minnesota.
That's true.
But I think
that we're leading back to Wendy's.
Oh,
I said Wendy's is my favorite national fast food burger.
Okay.
Because Wendy's is in, as far as I know, all 50 states.
I want to note that it's fine to have an opinion that states Minnesota food is bad. That I don't care about that.
Nah.
I just want to know why you think that, and I want to have a discourse about it.
Because we can't possibly be educated. We're just Midwestern rubes in a flyover state.
Okay. Random aside that I learned recently about X-Acto knives. So I love this knife, the Excel X-Acto knife, for many reasons. It's rubber handle. I like that. To get the blade out of the tip, you don't have to touch the tip at all. You unscrew the bottom,
and then you punch it.
Then you push up, and now, boop, comes right out. So it's safe. Love that. And then lastly, the bottom is keyed. So if it gets stuck, you can use a wrench to get it off. And lastly, this keyed part is the biggest diameter of the thing. And so what that means is when you put it down, it doesn't roll because it's flat. It's on a flat part. So this thing is designed very thoughtfully. The one thing that I've discovered recently that makes no sense to me is that they sell this bit that I really wanted, a thin saw with tiny teeth. And this is great because then you can get it into nooks and crannies.
Hey, hang on. I want to let you know before the poll goes away.
Oh, yeah.
Most people did not see the Hellboy reboot. And then after that, people said it was bad. Only 17% of people that answered the question said it was good.
Sad.
All right, so anyway,
fine.
The saw.
I thought it was fine. I liked it. Anyways, this saw, also a valid hobby tool, great for cutting metal and also other things. But you can't fit it into everything. It doesn't get into small areas. It's very wide. Whereas this one, a reference, is much smaller. The teeth aren't suitable for cutting metal, but this is more for cutting plastic. This is great. This knife does not fit in here. And it seems almost like a choice. It's like, why would you force me to get a different X-Acto knife to use this knife? Why couldn't it fit like everything else fits, or most things fit in your range?
Are you sure that that's not sized for like the bigger X-Actos?
It is. So what I want to say is, here is a bigger X-Acto.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was the thing.
Oh yeah, it is.
This one doesn't have all the features that I just lauded the other one for.
Yeah, because that one's an actual X-Acto rather than an XL knife.
Whatever this thing is.
Does XL make a bigger version of that? Let me look it up.
I don't know, but this, I needed to buy this handle to use this knife in this way, and that made me angry. I was like, why? You have this perfect tool, everything should work with it. So then I tried to think. I was like, does the tang need to be that wide? Does that really solve some problem that they experienced in testing? I have no idea. But if you're in a similar boat and you go to a hobby store buying this thing, thinking that's going to work with your 11 size normal X-Acto blade, it might not. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, there's a few different sizes, but like, let's see here. I would love to know what like they actually call these sizes. Like they measure them in gauge or what?
That'd be interesting. Mr. Funkadizzle says, "What up? Played my first game of Song of Ice and Fire. They starter box with starter box. My wife curb stomped me with Stark. Oof."
Yeah, you might be right that the silver one might actually be an XL brand knife as well.
I mean, it is. Look,
this is bullshit. It's just a bigger one.
I don't know. So it's like, what the fuck?
It is just the bigger size, so I know that, but art blades. Oh god, there's a million art blades. XL art blades.
Holy fucking shit.
Having a good time there?
Is there a replay of that? Legitimately scary. I was trying to get the knives out of that plastic thing, and I bent them, and one just came flying at my face and hit me on the cheek. And I don't have glasses on. So that was kind of terrifying, actually, in retrospect. I don't know.
Luckily, it's light enough that the chances of it puncturing anything are low. Yeah. Soft grip craft knife.
What?
Soft?
There's a...
Amazon, please. Soft grip.
Oh, look.
Craft knife.
Russian Roulette Hobby Edition. This knife is sticking through the plastic of the container it came in. I was trying to get it out because I feel like the blade wants to point up so that the cap can go on. I was trying to get them all out.
Amazon is truly awful.
What?
I said Amazon is truly awful.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm searching for a specific brand stuff and dozens of results from other brands because of sponsored results.
Oh, yeah, sponsored results. Yeah. That is annoying. Okay. Now the cap's on. Now I will put it away.
Wax on, wax off.
And not hurt myself. That was terrifying, though. Or at least in hindsight, it was. All right. Back to painting this totally scuffed face. Mr. Funkadizzle, let me know what you thought of the game. What was your first time take, which is a valid take. You don't need to play the game 10 times to have an opinion on it. I'm not salty, you're salty. What'd you think? What did you think of the game? What were your problems? What did you like about it? Tell me everything. Allegedly. I think I need to scrape a bit more of the remnant nose off of the bottom of the beard thing. Because it looks a little bit too much like... You know what he kind of looks like? The guy from Star Wars who gets like arrested or something. He has like a fucked up face in the cantina. You know what I'm talking about? He actually shows up in Rogue One again.
Yeah.
With Buttface Man.
Honestly, maybe the dumbest thing in Rogue One.
Yeah, it's like
we got to shoehorn more stuff in.
We didn't need that. Yeah,
we got to make the universe. This is the problem with the Disney Star Wars universe. Let's always make things feel smaller. thousands and thousands of planets. Two random guys on the street have to be the same two random guys that you see in the movie. That's just the direct prequel to.
Yeah, Rufus Kit nailed it. You said that it was their solo moment. Yeah,
truly,
it 100% was. Yeah. Maggie says you can see the blade bounce off your face. I mean, might be a good learning lesson for people on the internet to share that thing.
Mr. Funkadizzle, first time take. I'm impressed. My wife enjoyed it. She got a really good handle on combo moving the cavalry. Simple base rules with lots of opportunities to create combos on the fly. I like that there are ways to be clever with positioning and turn activations.
Okay. Anything negative? Nothing negative. Okay. The moment Scott almost had to learn to...
Mr. Funkadizzle, did you requisition updated rules, or did you just use the rules that are in the two-player starter?
That's a great question, yeah.
Because the rules that are in the two-player starter are, I believe, 3 years out of date. I think that there is a second run of those that isn't the original launch rules, but it's still like 1.4 or something like that.
Still worth mentioning that you can play and enjoy the game with those old rules, but might be a smoother experience with updated stuff.
Yeah. The game is still fundamentally based on the same principles. I'm just saying, like, stuff in that box has been heavily reworked since then.
I didn't mind the new Hellboy movie. I'm curious.
Tell us more, Scott.
I mean, I didn't think very hard about it. That's the problem. It's a comic book movie, so I go into those experiences with very low expectations, and I don't know. It was just fun. It was fun. He killed ogres. It was gruesome. There's some scary witch babe. I like scary witch babes. The dialogue wasn't cringe. Maybe some of it was. I said one thing about it that was annoying is that it seemed like there were multiple ends. It didn't know how to pace itself. It was like, we're killing the big bad. Oh wait, that wasn't the big bad. There's another one. And now we gotta go to another area and do this thing all over again. It's like, oh, okay, I guess. So that was my biggest complaint with it, but otherwise, I was pretty satisfied.
Scott, you haven't played a game since the new patch, have you?
No, I haven't. I was supposed to play one with Curtis, and then we weren't able to get it to work. But the next game stream is gonna be ASoIaF. Dude, ad stop. I just saw that movie's on Prime, Amazon Prime, and I was like, we should watch this, and my wife was like, let's do it. And so I'm gonna give that a shot too. I haven't tried them yet. JLA Junkie. Although I will say that the community perception is that it largely was a bad thing for Greyjoy. But that remains to be seen from my personal experience. Have you played a Greyjoy game yet, Evan?
No. I played against Greyjoy once and dismantled them.
You dismantled them?
Yeah, but I play Night's Watch and they're completely busted, overpowered right now.
Who was playing in Greyjoy?
I don't think you've met him.
Okay.
Man, everyone is calling me during stream today. What the hell?
They need you, bro. You're very important.
Hey, Terry, I'm on. What do you need?
Terry! Update on your game, Scott?
Yes.
I finished another book. It's called The Theory of Fun. Okay. You can't ask me about my game. I can't not talk about this.
Often there are downsides to it that go beyond that.
I'm so upset. I'm not upset. I love talking about this. I think I'm gonna have a video series on my channel. The game design series is gonna be one that's just like kind of like me info dumping, because I feel like I need an outlet for talking about this because I'm so hyped about it and I am still working on it. But I thought of an idea on how to make cooldowns and also real-time combat kind of interesting. Straight dumping. You know what this model needs? A snorkel. Yes. Okay. I have this idea for cooldowns. Imagine this. Imagine you have a track that's 20 squares, some amount of squares long, okay? And then you have people that are fighting. And every ability you can choose has 2 values. That has a time unit that dictates how long that action takes to complete, like in game sense. And then you have a cooldown limit, okay? Let's say you're playing as a barbarian, and they have an ability called Decapitating Swing. Very brutal. Can you guys hear Evan? I'm just curious if you can or not. Real time, kind of like dexterity. Yeah, it's like literally how long does it take my barbarian to use the ability Decapitating Strike? Say that time unit is 3. Okay, so now I take my P1 token, which represents the barbarian, and I put him on the 3rd slot in the time thing. And now P2 is still in time slot 0, so now they get to go and do their abilities next. And depending on what ability they choose, they're going to move their player icon somewhere on the track. Now, at any point in the track, if you are before your opponent, you get to do another ability. So say you're fighting against a rogue, and the rogue does Dagger Strike, and that uses 2 time units. Now P2 is in the 2nd time slot, and they're still ahead of the barbarian, so they gotta do a whole new ability until they leapfrog over the barbarian to another slot. Okay, that's one thing. That is entirely inspired by Patchwork, a game that has nothing to do with war games. That's where that came from. Secondly, if the ability has a cooldown, say the cooldown of Decapitating Swing is 10. So it goes in the 10 slot. Whenever the barbarian enters that slot or any slot after it, they get that ability back and they can reuse it. This is interesting because you can use abilities that have longer cooldowns to push your character further down the time track to get abilities back on cooldown, but the track is limited in space, so if you hit the end of it, you're using less abilities. So there's this interesting push-pull mechanic there that not only is trying to emulate real-time fighting, but also gives you an interesting cooldown mechanic that is tied in with how time works in the game. Okay, that was a lot. I said a lot. Does that make sense? Is that interesting? Whoever is last on the track activates first. Whoever is first on the track activates first. Or you're saying it's like Tokaido. Yes, you are. Yes. Tokaido Patchwork. It's very similar to that system. Yes. Did he call his cats? I don't think he calls his cats. I think he's Evan works as an insurance, I believe, salesman, advisor, something like that. And so
Sure.
That's his real job. And so people are calling him, asking him important questions. Yes, makes sense, and it would be fun and interesting. Wonderful. Love hearing that feedback. Just mumbling. Okay, can still hear. As long as it's not annoying, then I'm happy with that. Are you trying? Would be a little worried about AP. I don't know what AP is. Can you help me with AP? There's a video game that I played that was exactly like what you described. Well, fuck. What is the game? Are you trying to partner with BSS? I don't think I'm ready for talking about publishers yet. Like, I'm so not far at all in this process. And so I'm just like really trying to not worry about that at the moment. Like whether I'm going to self-publish, whether I'm going to hand this baby off to some person to run a Kickstarter campaign. AP. Okay, what is, let me read your question again. Would be a little bit worried about AP. Yes, you are right. I think that's a thing. I think what I'm trying to create is an interesting logic puzzle for people to really kind of have their brain chew on. Because if that doesn't happen, then I think the game fails largely. Sounds interesting. Sounds cool, but I would need to see it happen in person. How it works. Fantastic, absolutely. I would expect nothing less. With the love you've been giving to AOS 2K point games, you think you might try Adepticon tournament? Or I don't think I'll play any tournament at Adepticon, just because it takes up so much time, and I want to like walk around and do stuff.
Adepticon is Scott's like vacation.
Yes.
He's not going to commit to anything that takes up more than a few hours.
Yes, absolutely. I'll play a game of something, but not only one game.
Oh yeah, you played a lot of games last year.
I played, yeah. But
Guildball, you played cards, you played Southwest Fire.
yes. Also, this year, fucking let's play some Blitz. Let's play some Flesh and Blood Blitz.
Yeah,
Bring
a Blitz pre-made deck.
Yes.
And I don't know,
We'll pick an evening, and we'll fucking throw down, and we'll all suck, and it's gonna be great.
Someone is invariably going to show up and say, "Oh yeah, this deck is totally one of the pre-made
and no one's gonna fucking know.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really know all the decks.
Right? Yeah.
Pre-made decks, so really, that's one of the pre-made decks.
Every-
Yeah, totally, man.
Every card is fucking foil. It's just like how many subs do we need to gift you to get you show up to Nova Open? I probably can't go, unfortunately.
When is it?
This weekend. Bolton is here to wreck your shit. I've never played against Bolton. That'd be so much fun to try out. Would be cool to combine this mechanic with the players running a puzzle type.
Get them tonight.
I would love to play as Boltons, but yes, playing against Boltons also is cool. Not doing classes at LVO this year. Would be cool to combine this mechanic with players, such as running a puzzle type of challenge where a sequence matters instead of just damage. That is interesting. I didn't think about that. Okay, one last thing I'll say about game design. I thought I have an idea for combat where it's like you have stances, you have hybrid, defensive, aggressive, and in each stance you have 6 abilities because there's 6 sides on a d6, and I'll explain why that matters later. And you need to be in certain stances to use certain abilities. Think of like warriors in World of Warcraft. If you wanted to use Spell Reflect, you needed to be in protection stance. So same like that, but for everyone in the game. And so you have 6 abilities for aggressive, you have 6 abilities for defensive, and in hybrid, you have 3 abilities from both the aggro stance and the defensive stance. So there is some in between there as well. So it's not that hard of a requirement. Changing stances also consumes 1 time unit. Maybe there's even a move that changes the stance and does a basic attack or whatever, a basic move. You can change stance and do a thing. Now the reason why this is interesting, because there's 6 abilities, is because at certain times with this cooldown and timing idea is both players are gonna be in the same slot on the board. At some point, at the very beginning of a combat, at the very least, they'll be both in time slot 0. So how do you deal with that? I thought that you could have the stance the players being in be public knowledge, but if they wanted to use an ability, they take a d6, they put it down, they cover it with their hand, and then they both reveal at the same time to show what ability they are choosing to do when both players are in the same time slot. And so every single stance has 6 abilities for a d6, so you can do 6 different things. I thought a d6 was good because that's enough abilities, 18 total, to chew on. And also it uses the dice that we all are familiar with, and I don't think we need more than 6. I don't think we need 8 or 10 per stance.
I think that you should be using 7 sided dice.
Then could change stance to hit the cooldown spot. Players dancing between moves. Kinda, and that seems kind of like a combat-y thing, maybe? I didn't even think about that, honestly. Or can create combo damage, perhaps? Yeah, maybe if you go from a certain stance to another stance, that unlocks a certain ability, and that's like a combo, which also is a very cool idea. But those are my ideas about game design, specifically as it relates to my dueling game. And I recently finished a book called A Theory of Fun, which was really good. I kind of hated it in the beginning, but it turned out to be good toward the end. It would need unique interactions to prevent predictable moves. I agree. Also, that's what she said. I think I largely agree with that. I think the interesting thing comes down to matchups and how a Death Knight fares against a Ranger versus against a Paladin. It's like, I think that is another interesting thing that I hope happens in the game that I hopefully end up creating. Time would become a resource to manage, which is always fun in a game. Exactly. It almost sounds like you're writing a program for combat, trying to anticipate what subroutines should happen when based on who your opponent is. Are you saying that as a criticism? Okay, if you are, I'm not. One note that I put down from a book I read prior was that the expected value of your game should not be easy to calculate. So hopefully I'm not making it easy to figure out what the right move is at any given moment. And you have to choose. Like, the one thing I really love about Song of Ice and Fire is that, like, there are many moves, they are all valid, and you have to just pick one. I love that about that game, and I want to emulate that with this one. You could introduce stagger or other mechanics that can disrupt your opponents. Yes, exactly. There are moves that can put you back on the time thing. Maybe there's like a wizard who can like reverse time, or you could stagger someone to push them further down the timeline. Like that's totally a thing. This is something that I learned from Flesh and Blood. God, I'm talking too much about this. In Flesh and Blood, the design space is so big, but not every character uses every part of the design space. They use a certain fraction of it, and that makes them feel unique and special. So not every character is going to have movesets that allow them to push characters back and forth on the time track. Maybe the wizard does, maybe the rogue does, maybe a character does heavy on disruption does, but not everyone. And so like by making your game have more options for variability, it allows you to make your characters more custom and feel more personal, which I really love that in games. But obviously you can't go crazy with it because then the game's confusing and hard to learn. So there needs to be somewhere where you draw the line. No, like strategic approach feels step 1, do this, step 2, do this, maybe if then loops. Okay, so you're saying that's the way the player should think about the game. Okay, I agree. Oh my God, I want to read all these things, chat. You have no idea, but I also need to paint. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta finish your armor for next 2 weeks.
No, not 2 weeks.
Come on, Scott. Gotta have fully painted armor for next.
For gnats, I love that.
Nats, baby.
Nuts. Are people going to find Evan at gnats?
What is best in life? To crush your
Are
enemies?
you there?
See them driven before you?
Are you gonna? What are you
Hear
running?
the lamentation of their women.
You fucking, you slut. How could you?
Why do you only hear me on Scott's mic? What is going on here? My mic is definitely on. You are messing with me right now.
Like it feels like basic programming in a way that a system that would wind up being approachable to learn because you're basically programming in a move sequence and all your decision points are mapped out. I'd hope it's not all mapped out, but rather you would wait to see what your opponent does before making your next choice. Like that's very important. It's very important that I still haven't found a way that dice works in this game. And so far the only variability in the game is what your opponent is doing, which I don't care if there are dice in this game or not. It doesn't matter to me, but I think based on who my target audience is, there should be some amount of dice rolling that affects outcomes of choices. If I don't include that, it's not gonna feel like a miniature war game. It's gonna feel like a board game, something very different. And I want it to feel like a miniature war game. That's very important to me. And I don't care if there are dice or not.
Happy Trigger says, you should try Goblin Stone on Steam. It has a similar time management system in combat. Combat with a K, by the way.
Ooh.
So it must be a Mortal Kombat derivative.
Okay. It's called what? Goblin something?
Goblin Stone.
Goblins.
I'll send it to you in Discord so you can actually look at it later.
Is this a video game?
Yeah, you said Steam. So
Oh, you're right. You did. Sorry.
Jeez, Scott.
Sorry. Scott, why don't you get stuff painted faster? It gets my mind on chat with questions, ideas. Time magic would be the best, simply to give myself time to figure shit out. Are you doing a character builder or standard types of characters? So I want you're going to pick the Death Knight. And the Death Knight, at least in the beginning, is not going to have a race. You're not going to pick a sex. It's not going to be like making a character in a video game. You're going to pick a class, and it's going to have a model for it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And then from there, you're going to write a list. And the list is going to be about what weapon the Death Knight has, what gauntlets he uses, what breastplate he uses, what trinkets he has on that'll give him certain abilities. Like the list building is going to be about kitting out your Death Knight. Every piece of armor that the Death Knight can get, no one else can get. Everyone gets a unique set of armor. Maybe there's a generic set that is applicable to everyone. I've always hated that. I've never liked that idea. And I can't think of a reason why it's required in the game, and so I don't want to include it unless it's required for some reason that I'm forgetting. But yeah, I would love it if everyone had unique armor with fluffy names. I would love that. That sounds hard to do. I don't know how to do that very well, but that is my North Star.
Fist of the
Why
North
do you
Star?
hate neutrals so much? Neutrals just don't. They don't. I care so much about personalizing what I'm playing with that I can't fathom someone who wouldn't want the same thing as me. And so playing neutrals
Are the most customizable.
It is.
They can be anything, Scott.
But that's the thing. They can be anything. You're not making a choice.
No, you're making a choice to be whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's the most American thing possible.
Yeah. So That's my problem.
I'm a self-made neutral.
I love personalization. I love that so much. It's so important to me. It's so important to me, in fact, that I will not run a better list in a tournament setting with neutral characters if it means I have to like remove personalization from my force. Does that mean I'm not officially a Spike? I think I'm not a Spike. I have played in a Song of Ice and Empire tournaments, and they've intentionally not taken neutrals when it would be good for me because I want to play all Greyjoy. Am I Johnny?
No, that wouldn't be Johnny.
What am I? What does that make me?
So that's not part of the psychographic gameplay profiles. That's part of the other two, the satisfaction index ones. Hang on, let me look them up.
Oh, satisfaction index.
3 Timmies in a spike-shaped trench coat. No.
You say three Timmies in a spike-shaped trench coat. A hipster. Summon lesser maker. Yeah. No, I think that's no mystery. Everyone here knows that I'm a hipster. Unfortunately. Everyone has all.
I can't remember the ones for art.
Don't just talk the talk. Walk the walk. Give that guy a snorkel. Show up to tournaments in scuba gear. Love that. Love that. Chat, ask me more game questions, please. I'm dying. No, don't. But no, that's all I have to say about the game. That's where we're at right now. I want to make it an easier video series that allows me to kind of just like, just talk very casually like I just did to you guys about ideas. It doesn't require me to do like a bunch of editing. And the other thing is that I feel bad having sponsor videos about game design because they will not do as well. And so I will stress out about that, and I will be like, how do I make this game design video compelling and interesting? What's my angle? What's my thumbnail? And instead, I'll just make a video and there will be no sponsor, and it'll be easy to make, and I'll make it more often, and then it'll be fun. Does the ability cooldown mechanic physically look like an abacus? No. Imagine this. It looked like the struggle tracker in Shatterpoint. This is what I'm imagining, but not zero index in the middle. So I imagine it looks like this. You're killing me, Evan. It's a track with a bunch of cute slots in it, but it's not index 0 in the middle. It's index 0 on the left. And so it goes 0 to 20, and then I put everyone at the start of combat starts in the 0 slot, and then you pick an ability, decapitating swing. That unit has a time consumption unit. You put your character in slot 3, if slot 8 was 0 in this case. And then my opponent is still on slot 0, so now they get to go. They get to keep going until they are either on the same space as me or past me. That's the idea. Miniac, you got distracted again. Definitely an abacus. I thought an abacus had beads that you moved and shit.
Sure.
But that's I'm trying to imagine my game with an abacus. I can't see it.
I mean, I can.
You can?
Sure.
I'm sure it would work, but not in the same way, right? I'm confused. Maybe I don't fully understand how an abacus is supposed to work.
Feeling very dumb right now. I can't find the other psychographic profiles. There's ones for appreciating like painting and stuff. They're not part of the gameplay ones because they don't play into it, but it's about like lore and thematics.
Yes, honestly, like it's shocking to me how important that is. I really value that stuff.
Truly disgusting.
Let's talk about movement, positioning. So my only ideas for movement are that you have certain move sets imagine a hex-based game. I'm gonna paint and talk. Imagine you have move sets that are only valuable at certain distances. And so you're going to want to move to those distances to be able to most effectively use those abilities. Secondly, second idea to encourage movement. Like in Quake and like in Unreal Tournament, there are spots around the map that give you health, that give you armor. And they appear randomly maybe, or maybe on a timer. maybe on a timer plus a little bit of RNG. And so you're gonna be fighting around those locations, hoping that they show up, moving to them to acquire them, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Secondly, this has nothing to do with movement, but what if the game was best of 3 and it's played also to the death? So say in round 1, you could concede to hopefully win a future match, or you could push your luck and potentially kill the guy or be killed and end the best of 3 early. I love that idea. Best of 3 that can end early if someone dies. And then you go into the next round with some amount of health that reflects your previous round. So in between rounds, it's not a full reset. It's like gain 7 health and 10 energy each round. And so it's like, depending on how exhausted and how much you exert yourself in round 1, that's going to affect how you carry on into round 2 and round 3. Like a boxer, for instance, taking a break. They don't just reset and are totally fine and not bruised and battered anymore. They're still totally exhausted and very tired, but they had a moment to catch their breath. That's what that's saying. And again, this further designs the design space, because now characters can have better regen, like in between rounds, or certain characters can start with more and do worse toward the end of round 3, and they want to win early. You know, this is like, I'm dying right now. All I want to do is make this game. I have to relax.
You've got a Greyjoy army to paint in the next.
I know. I hate this so
13
much.
days.
I want to do so many things, chat. I want to play so many games, have so many painted armies for so many things. I can't do them all. I love this. I love this hobby so much. Okay, I'm relaxed. I saw Mission Impossible. Just reload your arms and you're good to go. Just come to Nova and do everything here. I can't do anything at Nova as a thought. What up, Alaride? It'd be cool if stances impacted your ability to move. Faster, weaker attacks, giving in stance that grants credit. Yeah, absolutely that should be the case. That should totally be a thing. Okay. Eyeballs. Nova has a sponsored painting area. You can paint there. Nice. You can game there. Yeah.
You need to check out the stress mechanics from Blades in the Dark and the Alien tabletop role-playing game.
Hold on, I'm painting eyeballs that I'm not breathing. Okay. Let me finish this other eyeball, and I will write that down like I've written down every other recommendation.
Yeah, imagine denying yourself the breath of life to paint something that no one cares about.
Eyeballs.
Eyes on Seamon miniatures that might even have their eyes closed.
Truly needless. I love that. Also, you guys like my book with my little thing that holds my pen? It's very cute. See? Look at that. Just comes right out. Boop. All right. So, we got some Rex. Blades in the Dark. The stress mechanic from Blades in the Dark in the Alien tabletop RPG. All right, we're writing it down. Stress mechanic. And Mike Genie also mentioned stress from X-Wing. I'm not going to write that down because that is already on the list.
I also posted the thing about Goblin Stone in Discord.
Oh, I will also write that down. Just to have it in both areas. Goblin Stone.
Or was it Stone Goblin?
Video game.
It is Goblin Stone.
Okay, good.
Goblin Stone, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't.
Also write down Abacus.
Write down looking up an abacus. I believe abacus spelled 2 C's, I think. You probably enjoy Blades in the Dark in general. The whole world is a sweet take, but you push yourself with stress to get better outcomes. Yes. Oh, it's 2 B's. It's not 2 C's. Okay. Yeah. I I do love that mechanic. I don't know if there's a word for it in the game design world yet. It's actually a book that I want to buy about advanced game mechanics.
We need Super Fantasy Brawl back in here.
Yeah.
I have a hankering to play that game.
That game is great. But yeah. I love push-pull mechanics. They're very satisfying. I love how in Patchwork, again, a very harmless themed game, you can trade points in the game for something. I can't remember what it is, but it's so satisfying thinking about how to min-max that. And I'm so terrible at it. I've played Patchwork 3 times and I've lost all 3 times my wife, and I've never gotten over 0 points. It's brutal, but it's fun. It's a great little small game. Have I actually played God Tier? I have not. Did I look at BattleCon's combat system? I have no idea what that is.
I thought you had played God Tier.
I have demoed it 3 times.
Yeah, that counts.
The problem is I can't remember anything about the game.
Or is it God Tier? I can never remember. One is Sky Tier, and one is God Tier.
Yeah, Sky Tier. It's Sky Tier. I don't know what the other one is. The push-pull mechanic for scoring feels great too. I'm sure that game has it in it. You're totally right. Yeah, I also got a warband that I got to paint for that game. We got to give that game a shot. But I do love those kinds of mechanics, and they are all over the space. It's not a new idea. I mean, you could even say that they exist in Games Workshop games, like absolutely. But I like it when they're like very in your face about it. Like, you have to spend your fucking victory points to move your units. It's like, oh, okay. Like, I really got to balance the value of burning those points. God, fucking Alex. Okay. He doesn't look like a failed surgery as much anymore. Just a little bit now. Joined late, but great to see Graders on the stream. When's your next song game on stream going to be? I want to see what you think of the latest patch. Great that you asked. It's going to be the first Thursday of next month. We're playing Song by Ice & Fire, me and Curtis, and I'm playing Greyjoys. I got my list ready to go.
That is, in fact, next week.
Next week. Missing link looking motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. Okay, all the skins painted on all these homies. All the rest of the model is zenithly coated in a yellow to blue-ish scheme. And so now, all we gotta do is just start painting some stuff with transparent paints.
Just hit them with the contrast.
And with that contrast. Now, I like the teal one a lot. I think I'll do the teal one on this kind of like, what looks like whale flesh to me. It's like bumpy fabric. They don't all have it in the exact same quantities, but yeah, I'll do that one first. And I like that teal contrast paint a lot. So, okay, guys, just fucking stand up on your cork, Jesus Christ. Okay. We have chopped and we shall now slap. Is this the one that Dan likes? Yeah, it is. Aethermatic blue, baby!
This is a very, very aethermatic experience.
I got a couple blues. That's not even a word. What do you know, Monument Hobbies? I paint slabs.
What's not a word? Aethermatic or blue?
heard someone say my favorite color real loud. Dan just shows up. Talisar blue for life. That's the one that you like? I didn't get that one. Oh, is that one of the new ones? I might not have that one actually. Leviathan blue is just insane. It's the super blue one. Okay, yeah. It's Talisar. I know things. I mean, clearly you know things. You're running a successful hobby company, Jason. Talisar is indeed an old one. Write that down. It'll be good for you to check out. Oh fuck! I forgot. Too many things to do today.
What are we writing down?
BattleCon. I think it's called BattleCon.
BattleTech?
Nope, not BattleTech.
Have you written that one down?
Nope.
It's got hexagons. It's
I've
got
intentionally not written it down, Evan.
System. I think you should check out BattleTech, Scott.
Have you checked it out? Have you played a game of BattleTech yet?
I'm waiting for you.
Talisar blue over silver is my go-to. I'm done with this mini. Hey folks, any idea what is a good starter faction for Relic Blade? I have no idea. Although I'm sure someone here can help.
I'm more preferential towards the relic than the blade, personally. So just maximize relics.
Yeah, someone in chat, not someone mere Evan. We have no idea.
BattleTech is your preferred faction for Got him.
I like the hunters for Relic Blade. The guy with the sandwich and the cat. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Relic Blade is... I don't know. I bet Sean Sutter would tell you if you asked him. It'd be funny if Scott just designed BattleTech in a vacuum, having never played it. Okay.
It's gonna happen.
Oh,
I'll do some subtle steering to make sure it happens.
But how can you? You've never played the game.
I know a lot about BattleTech,
Do
even
you?
if I haven't played it. Yeah,
You know how to play it?
I know enough about how to play it that we could get through a game. I think.
Oh wow, okay. Viewership is back up. Is it? What's the views right now?
We have 12 viewers.
Nice. Whoa! Not even happy with 20 grifters subs. Son of a bitch. Thank you so much, Jason. For the 20 subs, I appreciate it. I was just going to shill saying that at 50 subs, we're giving away some minis from the game Nefarious, Absurd, Scintillating Games. Some big ones, some small ones, modern warfare models. It's cool stuff, man. At 50 subs, one lucky viewer, not a sub, gets the stuff. So if you're enjoying
the viewer might be a sub.
If you're enjoying the stream, let us know by subscribing. You know, honestly, this stream is unsponsored, and that is an intentional choice because I get emails every single week about Twitch sponsorships, and they're all dumb shit.
We should do it.
I could take it, and the stream would make more money, but it's off-topic bullshit, and I respect you people too much to do that and ruin what I think is a good, just... I don't call it
Code Scott's Balls on Manscaped.
Real, yeah, exactly. You know, I mean that's totally fine. That's totally fine to do. But like, I'd rather it be a hobby thing. And if you like the stream and you want to support it, subscribe. That's how you do that.
West Coast Bannerman.
West Coast Bannerman, what up, Carl? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I also appreciate your questions about my game design. Gets the juices flowing. I love it. I love it all. Okay, progress is being made. Maybe. Yep, that brush will work.
John has a different, it's not psychographic. Yeah, sure, fuck it. A different psychographic profile when it comes to his approach to sponsors.
John took a Manscaped sponsorship. You too good for Manscaped, Scott? I know you're baiting me here, but I differentiate between Twitch and YouTube. I feel like on YouTube, with my podcast, for instance, I would definitely take a Manscaped sponsorship. On my main channel, I make so few videos that it's really easy for me
to just take hobby stuff.
And so I just choose to do that because it's just easy. And you want to see me shill for raid?
I mean, kinda.
This stream is sponsored by viewers like me. It is indeed. It is indeed.
I mean, our Twitch streams are basically sponsored by Monument Hobbies at this point. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah. I don't want to admit it, but it's kind of true.
I mean,
he's basically our like number one investor.
Yeah, every 50 subs we do a giveaway. We should also do like every 50 monument subs we put like a monument sticker up for a stream.
Yeah.
The real answer to your question before about viewership was 212, not 12, by the way.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Still off the all-time high. You know, I was thinking about this about a week ago. I think part of it is that some workplaces have actually done the return to office thing, too. You know, everyone's daytime viewership just seems to be lower on Twitch this year.
Who is everyone?
I mean, I don't just mean hobby YouTubers. I mean, like, everyone.
Yeah, but like, who is everyone? Where's your data coming from? Because like, honestly, I've been in this game a long time, and there are a lot of things a lot of content creators say to justify them making poor content and getting less views.
That's fair.
I'm familiar with that, and so like, more often than not, not getting the same amount of performance is a reflection of you doing something wrong. So maybe what you're saying is true, Evan. But the question is where's the data? Who's getting less views?
I'll have to reach out to a data aggregation company. I'll be spending some of our budget on that.
Okay. Okay.
Mike Genie says Zoom forced people to return to office, which is actually pretty funny. Monument Hobbies is saying that you have to go to Nova, Scott.
I'll send Evan.
Fuck it, I'll go to Nova.
You gotta pay for it for yourself, though. So.
Not going to Nova.
Oh no, does he have skin under there? Son of a bitch, he does. This guy's a naked boy. Dang it. Man, I didn't think so much of the model would be the same material.
You know, if someone paid me well enough, I could kidnap Scott and bring him to Nova.
No, you couldn't.
I'm a big boy. I have some training.
You literally could?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I didn't know you meant that. I thought you meant like you could like verbally convince me to go.
Oh, no. Kidnap means forcibly transport a person from one place to another.
You are right. That is what it means.
So when I use that term, keep in mind, I am staying well inside the legal definition.
I'm glad. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah. And then we would get there, and you'd be like, well, I guess we're here. So we might as well just enjoy it. And I'd be like, yeah, you can report me to the police later. We'll have a good time.
Gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, those look painted on. Yeah, hilarious. All that time in the trunk. Goobertown, Happy!
All these people going to Nova, and I'm the only one going to ReaperCon. Actually, if I was going to a con this weekend, it would be ReaperCon, because almost everyone at my paint club is going to ReaperCon. It's ridiculous. Mike's going to be there, Hannah's going to be there, Jeff's going to be there, the whole Shield Maidens crew is going to be there.
Nice.
I know Jim from Dark Sword is there and running a painting competition for Dark Sword Miniatures because they are good friends with the people at Reaper.
Makes sense.
Yep. You won't see me at ReaperCon Slayer Street. Anyone going to the Tampa Open?
That sounds like a sport thing.
It does sound like a sport thing.
We don't do sports here. Not a single one of us likes sports.
One sports, please. It's true. I agree. Volleyball is not a sport.
Hey! Who said that?
I think you just did. You said none of us like sports here. We don't do sports.
Shit, you're right.
And you do volleyball, so...
I don't like watch it, though.
Sure. It's just what you tell your wife when she catches you watching women's beach volleyball.
I watch Olympic volleyball because that's fucking litty.
It is.
And yes, I do watch women's beach Olympic volleyball because it is litty. But I watch all volleyball.
Their shorts are very short.
Very short, yes. And it's unfortunate. It's so sad. It's so sad. I think the Swedish team got fined. They paid a fine for wearing shorts that were too long.
Yes.
Let that sink in. That is ridiculous.
I was recommended on YouTube Shorts, like a comedian talking about women's volleyball shorts, and he was like, it's kind of messed up. And then a volleyball player was arguing with him, like, we need them that short for speed. He's like, I've watched a lot of NBA games.
Yeah.
They don't wear shorts that short for speed. LeBron is not wearing what amounts to a pair of tighty whities on the court.
Yeah.
They do just fine.
Yeah, they do. Also, like
so
let them make that choice. Like if your opponent wants to make themselves slower because of the shorts they wear, let them make that choice.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's like you gotta force it on people.
I mean, Rufus Kit also is correct. Scott, the real reason you don't watch that isn't because it would be too tantalizing and Amber would get mad at you. It's because you just feel jealousy because you want to wear shorts that short all the time.
Truly. Yeah, it's fucking loose.
Scott just wishes he could walk around in, like, bright pink tighty whities all the time.
Absolutely. People complain on my podcast about my shorts being too short. You don't even know the fucking half of it. I save you from the worst. It stays inside my house, okay?
Those shorts are only for private parties. The Miniac shorts are coming back.
Someday.
Monument Hobbies says, hey chat, someone give a single sub to get us up to 40, and Mr. Funkadizzle just did it. And now he's going to push us up to 50 for the giveaway, so I'll start getting that ready.
Did he?
Because, yes, Monument Hobbies just gifted another 10 subs.
Nice! Mr. Funkadizzle, thank you for the Prime sub, or whatever sub it was, I can't see it. And also, thank you so much to Monument for 30 gifted subs to the stream, which is really the only reason we got the 50 subs for our giveaway. So shout out to Monument Hobbies for effectively sponsoring the stream, and all the viewers who made it possible, honestly. Thank you guys a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. I say it a lot, so it probably doesn't feel like it means a lot, but I am very appreciative.
And Zach Jack just subscribed with Prime.
Thank you, Zach Jack.
All right. Nefarious giveaway box. That's what we're going with. All right. I have hit the start button. We got 15 minutes on the timer. Exclamation mark moist to enter the giveaway. Please do not enter if you're in an area that doesn't allow you to enter into random raffles. If you don't know your local laws, well, look them up because I'm not going to do it for you. If you've won since we instituted the no win twice in a year policy, then you're not eligible. You have to be a follower of the channel, not a subscriber, so that I can send you a message and do the bid. And yeah, I mean, exclamation mark moist to enter. Scott can show these off on stream. I blacked out the address on it so that way we're not going to dox them or us.
You want to see the goods? I can't open all. There's a decent amount of.
Yeah, just show a couple of them off. It's a whole box full of this stuff. There's like little buildings. There's some monsters. There's dudes. Oracle, it is not U.S. only. It's only open to people whose laws allow them to enter into online raffles, because that's what this effectively is. So if you're in another country and they do allow you to enter giveaways like this, it's cool. If you're in another country and they don't allow you to enter giveaways like this, don't do it. And thanks again to Monument Hobbies for pushing us 30 towards this goal. What the fuck? I know Dan probably wants that, but
this is Gary on a very bad day. Do not fuck with him. Okay, I feel like I have already opened every single one of these.
Probably did, because these are from like a sponsorship, right?
No, they just sent me these. Check out.
Oh, okay. Wow, he's got an alternate head on him.
I'm trying to figure out if this is like a kit bash from like a different model range, or if this is like, does the model come kit bash when you buy it from the company? That's a cool head. Either way, cool gas mask thingy thing. That is a Pokemon. I want it so bad. All right, one more mini. Oh, okay. I have another one. There's fucking green stuff on this model. What is going on? And also, the glue job is a little rough. A little rough.
Beggars can't be choosers or something.
Yeah.
Green.
I think these are 3D printed.
Monument Hobby says, are these hand-me-downs? I mean...
You mean, is the giveaway a hand-me-down? Every giveaway is a hand-me-down.
Every giveaway is a hand-me-down, pretty much.
Yeah. Every giveaway is a model that I've been sent that I did not care to keep.
Because...
Or product.
Like most places, we are inundated with so much stuff that we could never buy another thing and paint for the rest of our lives.
And so it feels bad to keep this stuff because when it can go to a hobbyist who doesn't have a lot of stuff and would actually get it painted. I didn't see that comment. What was that comment?
It was in support of Subdaddy Jason. Question for the group. Anyone try the new Pro Acryl Signature series? John and Vince's were dope, so very interested. Question for Scott and Jason. What are you waiting for? I have bought both of the new Signature series. And I haven't used all of the paints in both of them yet. So far, it's the normal Pro Acryl seal of quality. I'm enjoying them. I've used that warm brown and the second burgundy color a lot.
Is he asking why I haven't made a thing?
Yeah.
It just feels dishonest to make a paint range for a paint that I don't use a lot. It's like it feels like
you just need to collaborate on some other hobby product then.
And we had a meeting or two, different things that we could work on. But because there's no pipeline for it, and we need to create the pipeline, it takes longer than doing a pre-made thing.
Oh yeah, the warm white. Yep.
Scott's 6 series is just 6 colors of vampire flesh. Yeah. No, that'd be...
honestly, I could see you, like right now, Monument Hobbies has 3 shades. They have a black wash, a brown wash, and a flesh wash. And they're all good. I like them a lot. But I know you love Drakenhof Nightshade, which is a blue wash.
Yes.
The signature box could very easily be a few colored washes that you enjoy.
I also love Quellia Nightshade, which is like this blue-green shade. It's a wonderful color. Yeah, totally. I could definitely fuck with that. Also, I would love to find like a wash brand that is just like home base for me. I don't have a wash brand that I like love and adhere to all the time.
Yeah, Drakenhof Nightshade. You heard me.
Drakenhof Nightshade. Mycelium veins, that is a thing. Maybe. Like, who knows?
Does Monument Hobbies sell short shorts?
Yes, okay.
Sure.
Jason, are you interested in being an OEM manufacturer of short shorts for me?
Our washes will make you weep, Jason says.
I don't think I have any. I don't have a single Monument Hobbies wash.
Yeah, I offered to let you try one, but then it's out in my car. And,
oh, okay.
So far away.
I'm going to dry these. I'm going to mute my mic. I'll be back in a second. Evan will shower you with his radio voice.
I mean, I can mute your mic. It's fine. But yeah. Are you actually going to dry it? There we go. Like, why am I muting you if I'm not going to hear the wonderful sounds of a hairdryer? Anyway, we're about halfway through our giveaway, ! Moist to enter. If you're looking to pick up a random variety box of miniatures, from our good stream today. This giveaway is partly sponsored by Monument Hobbies, unofficially.
Aiming right now? Are you actually making white short shorts with red piping? That'd be amazing. I need black short shorts with red trim with the Miniac logo and Monument Hobbies across the butt.
Big M on the crotch. What does the M stand for? Medium? Yeah, could also be M for miniature.
Yeah.
That's rough. The ball hammock underwear line. Yeah, we need to do the full ensemble here. What are you wearing tonight? I'm wearing the Monument Hobbies Miniac Signature Series.
That'd be funny. Yeah, honestly, finding good short shorts is literally as difficult as finding a good OEM manufacturer. Because obviously, I'm not gonna make the fucking short shorts. Someone else is gonna make them, and then I'm gonna fucking smack my logo on them.
You've heard of YouTube shorts, but have you heard of YouTuber shorts?
All right, I have this other one, a Killian. I think it's super dark though, and so what if I like apply it toward the bottom of these tassels and try to like pull it up into the teal color, get a little gradient going, kind of like that, a little bit darker toward the bottom. Might be easier to do this with an airbrush, and then if I did it with the airbrush, I'd get that cool effect that you can get, that you see in the box art for these guys, where like their skin is like greenish blue, almost like, you know, they're kind of like one with the sea.
So do it, coward.
What? Me?
Yeah.
Okay. I shall. Maybe I'll just use this color just to keep things simple. In my experience using speed paints, contrast paints, instant paints through an airbrush is a bit of a miserable experience because they have something in them that just causes dry tips super easily. The old school GW glazes is the same thing.
So put some flow improver in there.
Do I have any straight up flow improver? I think I have something.
Not thinner.
I have flow medium.
Oh.
That probably is the same thing.
Is it airbrush?
What's up?
Huh?
It's not for airbrushes.
Oh.
It's just for a smooth base coating and line work. It's from Yosonia.
Oh.
I don't know, though. It's not a big deal. It's 2 models, 3 models. The dry tip is not important. I can sort out dry tip for 3 models of airbrushing. As hilarious as Miniac short shorts would be, I would cross-attend a live taping of Tup on my off my hobby bucket list. Not sure my therapy bills could handle a crowd in those. Yeah. Oh wait, so I mean we do those things.
What do we do?
Live versions of the podcast.
That's crazy. Every year at Adepticon.
Yep.
Tup live at Nova this weekend. Spread the word. Make it happen.
It's gonna be a Lonely John drunk on Fireball. With no one to pen him in. If you could attend only one US-based con, which would it be, and why? Adepticon. Because it's the best, as far as my anecdotal experience knows. I've never been to any other ones, so I don't know if they're better, but Adepticon has always delivered. It's always a lot of fun. This last year, it was a little bit too much fun. Headline, Fireball drunk mini painter gets arrested while trying to climb the Washington Monument. Yep.
That'd be pretty cool.
Nothing screams John more than that headline. Love you, John. No, John, he's not an issue.
Well, he is when he tries to topple the Washington Monument.
This is true. Don't do that, John. All right. I got a pipette out here? I don't think I do. Nope. Instead of trying to pour GW pot paint into my airbrush with its tiny cup and missing undoubtedly, I will just use a pipette like a sane person. I 100% thought you were about to say John has a problem. No, God, no. John's a good guy.
I heard you guys got 2 rooms this year, though.
We did. Unfortunately, the other one is already claimed. But yeah, we wanted to not share beds this year because we're 30 and 40-year-old men. We can afford a bed. We don't need to share one anymore.
Got about a minute and a half left in the giveaway. ! Moist to enter if you're in an area that allows you to enter into online raffles. Feel free to go ahead and do that. Giving away a variety of models from Nazg.
Nazgd. All right. Show me the painting cam. Oh, this is way too high pressure. You guys remember how the cap of my airbrush is also a Mac valve? And the more I undo it, the higher the pressure?
Yeah, that's not good.
Now, totally off now. This is not how it's supposed to work.
Don't you have like another brand new one of those in your drawer behind you?
Another
Iwata HPBH?
No, I don't have another one of those. I only have one of these bad boys.
Yeah, Jason says that's called a clog. It goes beyond that, Jason. There's something up. You can no longer enter the raffle. Oh, good. The Streamlabs app is doing this thing again. Maybe if I... There we go. Okay. I'm picking a winner.
Do it.
Hope you're here. Spud the Valiant.
Hey, that's a viewer that's been here a bunch.
Please do not touch the raffle. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, we're good.
See their leg is getting a little bit blue. I actually really like that effect. I think it's cool. On that skin. It makes them feel more like the concept art.
All right. Here is the deal.
But yeah, look at that dry tip.
I am saying what I am typing as per use. Yes. I spelled that wrong. Usual. Sure.
Also, another problem, Jason, with my airbrush is the fucking needle should not be coming out this far from the nozzle. I have no idea why it's coming out this far. It's a new needle nozzle and it's a new needle. So there's something else wrong.
You sure you have the right nozzle in there?
It has a very, very tiny threading. And so I'd be amazed if I somehow bought the wrong one that had the same threading. But
the Iwatas, I think, all have the same threading for this line, the HP series. But the cone grind is different for the different sizes of needles.
It's very possible. I will say that I bought 2 of them, and the last one did not do this.
I think maybe we have found your problem, is that we have a nozzle to needle mismatch, and so the the bevel is misaligned. Anyway, I got to keep doing the bit. I need your address and your email address and your name and any other info and stuff so that we can send you all this crap. And then we can send it. All right, Spud. I sent you a bunch of messages. Now you have to respond. I'm going to type that too.
The nozzles match the needles. My Chinese Awada clone just bought Awada parts 4, and you make sure you match. I mean, yeah, okay. You guys are explaining to me that I need to buy the right part for my airbrush. That I am aware of. And like I said previously, I did buy 2 of them. And they both came from the same place, the same web store, and the first one worked. So unless I got bamboozled and they sent me 2 different ones, I can't remember where I bought it, if it was Amazon or wherever, shouldn't be the problem.
I've done my bit. Please respond. That's good. I like it. I'm having issues sending a whisper. You just here you go. Click on here and click whisper. Man, I can't spell it all today. I hate this keyboard. It is my keyboard, but there's a reason I don't use it at home anymore.
I just want to note that yes.
Is this a Kingdom Death model?
No, it is a Song of Ice and Fire miniature.
Ah.
But
I'm being a little glib.
Are you?
Yeah. Hey, cut it out.
Yeah, I imagine it's insane to have it on the wrong part. Okay, Rufus Cat.
Gilded Lion. Look at him go. He's blowing his model.
Okay, so Rufus, you weren't being sassy. You just had a typo. It's crazy how when you hair dry contrast paint, it does dry faster, but it does so glossily. It looks glossy.
You know what, actually?
Like, look at this. Give me the paint cam.
I just, paint cam black?
Rufus is always sassy. I'm sassy but classy. How about now?
Paint cam not black.
So like, look at the recesses where the contrast paint accumulated in the hood. It doesn't look glossy and it's more richly colored. Now look at it right there at the bottom. That is glossy, and I'm pretty sure it's painted. I'm pretty sure it's dry. Let's just test though. Nope, I lied. It's not dry. I'm such a piece of shit. All right, who cares? I'm gonna airbrush it anyways. Although I think that does happen to me sometimes, though, where I'll use a hairdryer to dry contrast paint faster, and where it's pooling, it gets glossier.
Scott, what is your public-facing email address?
Scott@miniac.co. And yes, it is .co. That is not a typo. The fact that you capitalize the S and the M is hurting me.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like
That's how it should be.
I feel like emails should not have capitalization.
No, absolutely they should.
Really? Okay. This is not something that's important, but it's worth arguing about.
Truly, the stream summarized.
It is true. Poll it. Poll it. should emails have capitalization in them? Really, should the first letter of the email and the beginning of the @ address be capitalized? Is that what you're going to argue, Evan?
I think that proper nouns should be capitalized. It doesn't matter if they're in an email address or not. Like, my email address for my work is a version of my name. You know, it uses Evan and Little in it.
Okay.
I capitalize that when I send it out. And I capitalize the name of the company because it's capitalized. So my poll question is, should emails have caps for proper nouns?
Sure. Or I think the question, should emails have capital letters in them at all, is sufficient. Because I would also say, I'd say no to both. So for my intents and purposes, that captures the question that I want to ask. Poll, how wrong is Evan right now? Kind of or very? I've never heard his opinion before. I love it. Evan, you're a beautiful man.
This is the question you want? It's fine.
It's fine.
I'll tell you that all the professional emails that I see, they'll send them out with caps.
Hey, I also was at some point in corporate America, and no fucking person, not a single person was caught dead putting caps in an email, dude.
I just completely disagree. Emails and signatures and stuff will have proper capitalization for names and the names of organizations.
Did we get a sub that I just missed?
Did we? Hang on, let me look.
Can I get my real chat back?
What do you mean? You lost your chat?
Yeah, I got the on-screen one, but not the normal one.
How about now?
No. Now I got it back.
Okay, that's weird.
I don't see a sub.
Mike Genie gifted a sub to Spud the Valiant. He saw that Spud the Valiant wasn't in the Discord when I said, "Hey, are you in the Discord?" Because you could message me there. He was like, "My sub ran out," and then Mike Genie took care of the problem.
Thank you, Mike Genie. Appreciate that.
What a nice guy.
What a nice guy. Only boomers capitalize emails.
How dare you?
Fucking wrecked.
Scott is also an old man.
Yeah, but I'm hip and cool. I'm a graphic designer and I put a lot of emails on things. They are never capitalized. Okay, you heard it from the graphic designer, Evan. You're wrong.
Yeah, graphic designers don't know anything about words.
Again, let's just reiterate. We like to argue, but this is unimportant.
This is the most important argument we've ever had
Graphics
on this stream right now.
I love flagrant comments like that. Just with no support. Like they don't know words, dude.
It's graphic designer, not language designer. Okay.
He said that is true. That's fantastic. Okay. What do we do next? We get to this point in the paint job where it's like, now you gotta start to paint things. You gotta like paint the small bullshit parts that are tiny and no one cares about. Oh, there's so many of this whale blubber stuff. Sorry, I had to fix the username. Don, okay, nice, you capitalized it. As a graphic designer, I agree. I don't read. I only see shapes. They literally can't read.
It's true.
Tiny and bullshit. but if you don't do them, you'll know. Okay, I don't trust Evan to accurately tell me what the poll results are. Chat, what's the poll results?
I'll tell you that I am losing right now by 1 vote.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
It is 17 to 18 votes wise, yes versus no. It is now dead even.
What? Are none of them, is no one sounding off in the chat? Everyone in the chat seemingly does not think.
I just pulled ahead.
What is
now
going on?
It's going back and
Is
forth.
Evan making bot accounts right now? Evan, are you making bot accounts?
No, but I should. And I'll give them properly capitalized names too.
Sluts at domain versus, wait, what is that?
S.Lutz at domain versus S. See, so here's the key. Here's the key. I didn't say everything should always be capitalized. I'm saying proper nouns should be. So in the case of my email address, because it's my name, I capitalize it. But I'm not saying that like if your email is xxpussyslayer xx69 at Gmail, you can capitalize that if you want. I don't care.
Okay. So what you're saying is the poll is flawed.
Well, what I originally wanted to poll was, should proper nouns be capitalized in email addresses? Because that's my argument. I capitalize the name of the company, and I capitalize my name, but I don't capitalize every screen name. If I'm responding to, like Big Huggy Bear or something like that, I don't capitalize that. Yes, I would say that is how I would write that.
I blame the graphic designer.
Lumberjack Tim. This also goes into my frustration with screen names on Twitch, though, too. You have the option to capitalize so people can see the different words inside. And the people who don't do capitals are worse people than the ones that do. Yeah. You're welcome, Jason.
Evan is in support of camel casing names, which
yes,
I am also in support of. But I just believe that no letters in email should be capitalized ever.
You're insane.
You're insane, bro.
You have lost the plot and should be committed.
I kind of agree. Because like, really, how is an email different than a username on a platform? Really, other than just I have a prior experience with both of these things. Next question: punctuation in emails? Absolutely not. Email should be as difficult to interpret as humanly possible. Next question.
There shouldn't even space counts as punctuation. Don't use the space bar when writing emails.
Yeah, I don't want that either. Yeah, definitely not.
Well, you see, you're saving on data costs.
That's really what it is.
Because less characters means less bits.
Yeah.
Lowers your impact on your cap from Comcast or whatever.
Okay, I think what I need to do is I need to start painting some strings and stuff, because there's a lot of ropes and shit on these guys, and it's hard to tell what's the next best move. So I'm gonna get some brown paint. We'll paint some fucking brown.
See, so I'm in your thoughts. Since capital letters do not affect the email address itself, I never capitalize. Also, when I see someone capitalize their email on business card, I tend to think they know nothing about email addresses and are pleb to teach. I'm very tech literate. I know that it has no impact on where it goes, which is why I choose to capitalize it properly based off of the rules of English. If it did affect it, then I wouldn't do that, obviously.
Yeah, it's just for readability. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Camel case, like variables in programming, has no technical thing that it does.
Right, exactly. And it to me, it's just to point out this is who I am, right? Rather than this is just, it's not info@travelers.com, which is just like a group box that's going to go to a bazillion different people, right? It is, this is me. This is a guy. This is my name. At company.
So you're saying I can't read an email and need capitals? It's not about your inability. It's just about making it easier for you. Again, I don't agree with Evan, but I understand what he's saying, and I do acknowledge that I am a sociopath. Because there is no difference.
For what it's worth, More people are taking your side now. Of course, this is a biased audience and so on.
Okay,
But,
now this is the debate, and then the chat is the jury.
but the jury is still in terms of decisive results, not a decisive one. It's currently 45% to 55%.
I cannot believe.
This is how the Spain of Plastic got their alternate name. Correct. Yeah, Mike Genie, there are things that you can do to have email still hit your email at Gmail with a different email address, including the plus thing. And so you can, if you're savvy, when you set up a new email account, you can always use that one when you're signing up for specific sites, so you can see who sold your email address to spammers, because they'll send it to that address and you can see it. You can be like, ah. Yeah, you can add periods anywhere in your Gmail name. There's a couple other things too.
Now we're arguing semantics, because it's the same thing about naming variables in programming. It's like it's a matter of preference, how you delineate between words and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, and well, I mean, some of it is just preference, right? But like, so my business card, my email address has my name capitalized because it's my name. If it wasn't my name, if I was accounts@companyiworkfor.com or something like that, then I wouldn't capitalize it.
You wouldn't capitalize your name?
No, I wouldn't capitalize the email address if it was just accounts@company I work for. Or
okay, so now you're psycho.
No, it's just proper nouns.
But that seems like such a weird choice to make if your intentions, if your goal is legibility. If your goal is legibility, then everything should follow the same scheme so that everything is more legible, not just proper nouns. Right?
Yeah, but it's not.
Spaces or tabs, exactly, yes. I don't know about you guys, but in my Vim config doc, I have my tab set up to be 4 spaces. So when I press tab, I get 4 spaces. And in my pull requests at work, the people there is a check for there being no tab characters. And if there was any, my pull request would be denied, and I'd have to go and change all the tabs to fucking 4 spaces.
My examples are there in the chat. That's how I think of email addresses.
But you understand what I'm saying, though?
I do.
And what's your reason?
I am following the normal rules for how to capitalize things.
Okay, so you're a crazy person.
No, I'm just following common English language rules. I'm not treating it as the title to a book. Right? I'm not capitalizing every word except for words that are 3 letters or less, or a few other common exceptions. I'm capitalizing only proper nouns in the first part.
What?
The proper noun is always in the second part, right? So if it's the company name, right? So the company I work for, it's a word, it is a name, it's going to be capitalized on the business card, it's going to be capitalized on the email. But my name is a proper noun that's going to get capitalized. But a department it's just a department.
Okay. But emails don't need to follow proper English grammar.
Of course they don't.
That's a choice you're making, and typically when you make a choice like that in a thing where it's not required, you're doing it for a function. And I thought that function was legibility, but so far it's only legibility for proper nouns, and so that seems just weird. Why do you make that
What is best in life? To crush your enemies.
Only do that,
see them
not
driven
everything
before
else.
you.
I've never
Hear
given
the
it enough
lamentation
thought
of
to
the
be able
women.
to answer that
Okay,
question.
that's totally a fair answer.
It's just, if I was writing a sentence, if I'm conceptually thinking about what I'm saying out loud, right? And I am just basically writing that down, then some things are capitalized and some things aren't, and those things that are capitalized are proper nouns.
Okay.
2 spaces after a period or a single space. Single space has been the proper answer for about 70 years.
I learned 2 spaces in grade school.
Yeah, that was outdated at the time that we were in grade school.
Yeah, God damn it.
Most common style guides no longer used that rule. So. The APA can kiss my ass.
Dude, what is the APA? I feel like I've learned so much whenever I live stream. It's incredible. What the fuck is the APA?
Well, there's a few different APAs, but the APA style guide is what they're referring to, which is it's a scholarly guide for how to write scholarly papers.
Okay.
You know, like there's rules on how to cite things and how to write things and stuff, and they are not keeping up with how things are commonly written.
I love
the style and grammar guides that I generally ascribe to are the ones that are used by companies like the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Associated Press, because that's what my background is in.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like you're a fucking liberal, dude.
You got me.
Fucking down with whatever he's talking about. Go APA.
I'm gonna space twice to own the libs. Got him.
Fucking what is this called? Identity politics has gone now to how to format your goddamn emails.
That's where we're at, man.
APA is freaking liberal, yo.
The APA is very liberal, but
APA 7th edition just came out a few days ago. I love it. Fake news, stop the steal. Great. Wasn't obvious, I was joking.
oh, whoops, I forgot to do something.
I picked this brownish, reddish brown color because right now in this model I have really a warm skin tone and blue, and this color could be a shade for APA versus MLA citation formats. I learned MLA, so that's all I can say. But I like this brownish red because it contrasts nicely temperature-wise with the colors going on in the model, and it pairs well nicely with the skin tone. This could very well be a shade for the skin tone. And so I'm gonna highlight the browns a different highlight than I would use for skin tone, so it delineates a bit, but it's still nice harmony-wise to have this color as the base coat for the straps, the wood, things like that. Considering I'm in the UK, every educational institution I've ever been involved in has required Harvard referencing, oddly. It probably seems like a good idea. Harvard seems like a great place to start, or at least to learn from. Yeah, I learned MLA, but I have never cited a source like in that format since grade school. I mean, like when I cite a source for YouTube, I just link an article in the description. Oh, that's the style. Harvard. Hate the Harvard style. Give me footnote references. Man, I did not know. There were so many thoughts about citation format. Chat, do we have any Gamers Nexus viewers in the chat? Because I've recently discovered this channel, and I really appreciate how they operate really as an independent media source. The real question is Reese with her spoon or Reese without her spoon? Yes. Isn't there a big GN versus LTT? Yeah, sure, but I don't care about that. I just want to talk about GN. Tech Jesus Steve. Yeah. So I love how he reports on the bullshit that NVIDIA is doing, that like pre-made system manufacturers are doing, and he is on the side of the consumer. I love that. He's doing the Lord's work, to use a colloquialism. Maybe that's why they call him Tech Jesus Steve. It's because of the long hair. That I love that, and I would love to make content like that. Now, there isn't as much bullshit going on in our space because we're much smaller, but I feel like, I don't know this for a fact because I haven't looked into it, but I feel like someone should make a video maybe espousing Green Stuff World because they do shady shit all the time, backing up all the claims with like actual research, interviews with people who have been affected by that and all that stuff.
You know, I saw someone post talking about the sticker packs that they sell and how like all of the art in there probably isn't licensed.
See, yeah, that would be a thing to look into. That'd be interesting to look into. Steve also goes very in-depth, more than the average person likes, so it gets very dry. You have to really be into it. This is very true.
Yeah.
I found myself watching the video about the recent ASUS firmware thing with AMD CPUs that was like burning up boards, where they released a firmware update that also invalidated your warranty, which was absolutely insane. But that got so in the weeds so fast. So you are right. It does get a bit heady.
Just lost connection to chat.
Oh,
still alive. That's weird.
AKA Scott was paying. Yes, no, that's the reason. I've known of Gamers Nexus, but I've never cared to watch just because it is incredibly heady. But then I love the series where he reviews open box systems. Sorry. He reviews pre-built systems. It's helpful for me to watch to know what a high-end system builder looks for quality. And so I take all the things he says about those systems and I apply them to my own builds. Discourse Miniatures did a GSW expose. Okay, fair enough. So maybe, yeah, I guess you're right. Discourse kind of already does stuff like that, so never mind. I just feel like it's probably important to keep consumers in the loop about what is going on with large companies. I think there's plenty of BS in the mini wargaming scene, but when you do it, you kind of get pegged as a whiner. That's one thing about Steve that I am confused about, is that I feel like if I complained about anyone in that way, I would be labeled a whiner.
Yeah, I agree.
How does he? So he must say it in a certain way. Obviously, he backs all of his claims up with data, but that doesn't seem like that would matter, right?
There's a certain. I mean, we could really dig into it. There's some stuff to his presentation style that.
Okay, presentation style matters. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think he does get labeled that way to a degree, though.
Oh, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah.
So my frustration with Gamers Nexus is that they, it's not just Steve, it's his whole organization, kind of presents themselves as being like really high standard for journalistic stuff, but actually every time I watch any of his in-depth stuff, I'm like, man, you missed a bunch of stuff here. And I think that just comes from the fact that their background actually isn't in journalism. It's just in like regular coverage of products that they get, rather than like actually getting a journalism degree, that kind of stuff. It's not a huge problem, don't get me wrong. But it also means that when they do these in-depth exposés, it's sort of like he presents the whole thing of check this out, rather than like first-hand experiences from people. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, at least in the videos that I've watched, he's used his viewers' first-hand experiences to support his claims.
Yeah, sorry. I'm probably not explaining this well enough. He is doing a presentation from his perspective and then using people's anecdotes as evidence rather than platforming people to act as the first-party resource.
Okay.
I'll send you a video later about what I'm actually talking about here. It's pretty interesting.
Okay. I will say that I don't want to. I didn't bring it up to debate the journalism ability of Gamers Nexus.
No, I know, but yeah, and you're saying like, would I get labeled as a whiner? And I think that to a degree he actually does.
Yeah.
He just kind of pushes through that and ignores it.
Gilded Lion Minis asks the question, do we need mini news? And I would say largely we don't need mini news. I was just saying that I really valued what Steve was trying to do for the computer audience. And while that's not as big an issue in the miniature painting audience, there is still some level of importance in letting consumers know when companies are doing shady stuff, which again doesn't happen as often. I just didn't know if there was an interest in that kind of stuff. Like it makes me angry to see that Green Stuff World is still a company and making money. Like I'm not like all about canceling people and that kind of bullshit, but like if there were ever a company in our space that got canceled, I would say that from what I know about them, and again, I could do more work to validate this, they are the scummiest company, and not just for our hobby space. They're legitimately they seem evil. And so I don't want them to exist. And so I think with my platform, I could affect that. But is that irresponsible? People want that? Is that my job? Like there are a million questions that I should ask before going about and trying to do that, you know? And so I was asking one right now. I was asking if people would care about that. Which company? Green Stuff World. I feel like Green Stuff World is, from what I've heard and from what I've seen proven, they have their own best interest in mind exclusively, and they have acted in ways that could be described as evil.
I mean, I would just say that they don't have their own best interest in mind.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They have a very poor reputation across the entire miniature painting community. Like, it is very rare to see someone actually like stand up and be like, I love Green Stuff World. There are people that love some of their products, right? They'll be like, holy crap, this thing is awesome. But very rarely will you see someone be like, I'm a big fan of this company. And they have earned that reputation, it seems like.
Yeah, you're right.
Is how I would put it. So, yeah, also, they do make plenty of products that aren't very good.
Yeah, Gilded Lion Minis, absolutely. I would never intend to make a whole channel about that. I mean, you could see my channel's content. It is the wayward, the amount of content that I cover and the variety of content that I cover is like a leaf blowing around in autumn. You know, there is no direction. I cannot stand one thing for very long. The problem is GSW didn't invent that thing people love. They stole it from someone else. I mean, that is the biggest accusation. I would need more actual examples of that, and I know they exist. I just haven't looked into them yet. I'd be interested in a breakdown of this company has done shady and or reprehensible crap to avoid putting my bucks in the pockets of folks who burn through the community that way. Right. That's kind of what I figured. AK is pretty mid that way. Yeah, I would say that AK compared to Green Stuff World, no, it's not the same thing. Yeah. This club that this guy is holding has got a whole manner of coral and ropes and other things on it. It's kind of crazy. AK's fuck up was spectacular and they handled it real bad, but it's not a thing that happens repeatedly like with Green Stuff World. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as the thought puts it the way that I was like literally typing, AK did something that made you question the type of people they have working there. Green Stuff World engages in bad business practices, and that's like 100% what it seems like to me. AK is not routinely accused of stealing from artists.
Yeah, but like I engage in bad business practices.
Right. And you know, to be clear, like there are bad business practices, there are mistakes, there are things and so on. It's just like it's so routine from Green Stuff World. It seems like, so I've been in this hobby 6.5 years now? No, a little less. So let's just call it 6. It seems like every single year there's been something where it's like, oh, Green Stuff World is in the news again. And it's not because of innovation. It's never because of a new product that they're like, that they've pushed boundaries on. It's because they're suing someone for, you know, like making a product that's too similar to them, or they've stolen from another artist or whatever. And it's like, it's weird that it keeps happening.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. Okay. Now, not to move on from that, but someone said something that I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
Speaking of companies doing interesting stuff, this is from Professional Paint Licker. Have you seen the latest update with the BAM paint line on Kickstarter? I have not. I would like to actually go and look at that now, Evan, if we could pull it up. And it's not like ridiculously long. But this is an important thing to talk about because this is a company that prior I supported and had thought that had its community's best interests in mind.
What are we talking about here?
I would say the Kickstarter update from the recent paint line that Broken Anvil made.
Okay, gotcha.
And honestly, all their Kickstarter campaigns. I fear that Broken Anvil is imploding, and I have reason to believe that they are imploding because I'm hearing from several employees who I can't name. So this is just my opinion, effectively. I fear that that company is blowing up, and that there's a chance that none of those campaigns will be fulfilled. I have no idea if that's the truth. I can't validate that, and it's important for you to understand that. But if that is the case, and they fail to help, and they just take money, I feel like I'm obligated to remove the ads that I did for all that company everywhere. Right? That seems like that'd be important for me. Okay.
You're talking about this update from the 25th? Current business status?
Yeah.
Well, this is very long. Do you want me to read all of this?
No, okay. I don't want to read this. I'll read it when I go home. It's important for me to know. But just know, keep in mind that yes, Scott and John have sponsored content with these guys, and at that time they were wonderful. They're one of the best companies that we've ever worked for. And now they're engaging, I believe, in some pretty unsavory business practices. And a lot of that hasn't necessarily seen the light of day because it's not easy to prove. People don't want to have their name attached to being sources and stuff. And so I just want you to know that I am thinking about this, and I am going to do something about it if I can, prove stuff to people. Because I think that would be very bad of me to continually advertise a company that I know that I know is doing bad stuff.
This is one of the main problems with sponsor integrations in general, is that they become saddled to your content.
Right.
And it's part of the reason that brand integration in shows is such a broadly reserved thing as far as how they do it.
Yeah, that is the hard thing. And that's also a selling point to sponsors. That your ad content will stay on YouTube forever.
Exactly.
And maybe Broken Anvil has a leg to stay on here because I literally say that in my email, my templated email response to sponsors. I say one of the values of a YouTube sponsorship is that your video is going to stay up forever. I should have a clause in there. An email can be a binding contract as far as I'm aware. So maybe I can't actually take it off because of what I said. But maybe I should have put a clause in there that says if you engage in some kind of activity.
Yeah, morality clauses in contracts are common. Absolutely.
Hard to measure morality, right? From but
no, I mean that's the term for it. When a company says, "Hey, we reserve the right to pull this deal apart based off of your conduct," and a morality clause generally has very, very liberal interpretation. Where it's just kind of like conduct unbecoming of our brand.
Exactly.
And so some brands have a lot more tolerance for that kind of stuff than others. But it's when Kanye West started saying anti-Semitic stuff, and his partnership with what was it, Adidas, that was making his shoes? I can't remember. But his partnerships blew up, and that was based off of morality clauses, where they were like, "You're saying things that are problems for us because of our association with you," and so we were just immediately terminating this contract.
Okay.
It was Adidas? Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought, but what do I know about shoes?
Rather than scrubbing videos or ads, do a big red text placement over the ad and a link to a longer statement in the video description. That's not a bad idea. Also, sponsorees don't see how businesses are being managed, but they establish a relationship with the marketing and product team, so if they do turn out to be run by assholes, it's not on you. Interesting. Rufus Kit says, it's written, but who's left to sue you if there's no company? ? That's not legal advice.
The person left to sue you is whoever buys the assets and ownership of a company in receivership, which they absolutely can do. Oh, you breached your contract with the prior owners and caused damage to the company before it folded. I bought that asset, which means that I bought that damage. and I'm going to come after you for it.
Yeah. Again, Rufus wasn't sharing legal advice, but it is good to hear both sides, though.
Well, I'm just explaining, like, so if you're a this is a more individualized example, but this also applies structurally to like a business that goes into receivership or whatever. But like, if you're a person and you're in an accident that like puts you into a coma, and you don't have a wife, you don't have kids, you don't have parents, it's just you. There will be someone or someone's that is put in charge of managing your assets, and they can go after the person that injured you, even though they're not going to personally benefit. Your estate might, but there are costs associated with your injury, right?
Yeah.
So if a company goes under and another company buys up those assets, you know, we see this all the time in like video games, right? When a studio goes under and another company buys all of the intellectual property and the name of the studio and any existing assets and obligations and so on, they can also be buying the opportunity to pursue for prior damages.
What did the sponsor do? I just joined. I would just read Broken Anvil's most recent update.
I'll post the link
on their Paint Range Kickstarter.
It's a very long post. I will say, you know, when I look at something like this, and so the first comment on this says,
go on.
The first comment is, I want to cancel my pledge and get a refund. I'd like to get a refund on my backer kit order as well. Right? But I've done a lot of Kickstarters, and it says in really, really big text, this is not a guarantee that you will receive your thing. There are no refunds on Kickstarter. You are basically sending them money, and there is no promise being made that you will get the thing, no matter how close it appears to being done.
Yes.
And, you know, like every time I back something, I've backed a lot of stuff on Kickstarter. I remember before Scott and I really knew each other, I showed him my Kickstarter thing, and he was like, God damn, man, you back a lot of Kickstarters. Because, like, one year I backed like 40 of them. Quite a few of those. The company just stopped responding to messages and stopped existing midway through the Kickstarter. It happens.
Yeah. I've backed probably like 10 to 15 campaigns in my entire life. And luckily, that's never happened to me.
Yeah, Rufus Kit is also correct. It's like a bank run because the money isn't sitting in like an escrow account ready for refunds. It's been spent. True. There are fraud scams that have been gone after or whatever, but like, I haven't backed anything on Kickstarter in like 2 years except for the one project. So, and a second one now. Actually, I need to take care of that.
All right, we're coming close to the end of this live stream.
Yeah, we got all heavy at the end here.
We did get heavy. That's okay. I want to talk about it. It's very important. It's been playing on my mind, and people are probably like thinking like, you know, my name is associated with that company in a big way because I supported them a lot with sponsorships a lot. So I want to talk about it. But related to Kickstarter, one last thing. I backed a recent campaign called Eat the Reich. You know this campaign, Evan?
No. What? Maybe I've heard of this.
It's an RPG where you play as a vampire and you are coffin dropping into, I believe, Germany or Russia, and you are eating World War II fascists as a vampire.
All right.
Eat the Reich. Yeah, it's called Eat the Reich, not Eat the Rich. And it's supposed to be a campaign system that's played over the course of 1 to 3 sessions. It's ultra violent. You play as vampires. And I was just like, fuck yeah. Like, I think if I'm going to play an RPG, it seemed like a really fun system. But I also realized that if I want to play it, I need to find someone to run it. So I don't know how that's going to happen. But it just sounds like...
who could possibly do that around here?
What was that?
Said who could possibly do that around here?
Are you offering to run a campaign for me and my personal friends?
Potentially.
Okay. Again, it's not supposed to be long, and it just seems like so much fun. So I hella backed that. Insta backed that. Vampires, they did not see that coming. Do it for the stream. If it's a 1 session thing, Graphic could do like one for the stream, and if it's fun. Sounds so good. I really want you to make models for this, Scott. Dude, I know, dude. Fucking vampire World War II soldier things with like vampire motifs, like they literally drop out of the sky in coffins, bro. They're part of a FANG squad, where FANG is an acronym. I don't know what it stands for, but I know what a FANG is.
Yeah.
But yeah, write it down. Yeah, no shit, I should.
The real reason he backed it is because the text on the front of the spec art is hot pink.
Yeah. And also the art's fucking banging. So yeah, if that sounds cool to you, you should go back too. And also, one of their pledge tiers, they were like, everyone's earning more money. And one of the unlocks they got were everyone that helped the project and had a one-time cost, like a contractor, we just gave them more money now because you gave us money. And I was just like, oh, I love that. It made me so happy. And I was like, I wish I had the business acumen to know how to do that and know that I wasn't giving away money that I actually needed. But I love that. So the company seems solid just from that very small anecdotal experience. And also the game and the art, everything's aligning. Everything is aligning. All right. That is it. Who should we host? Raid. The giveaway went backwards 20 subs. Why did it go backwards?
That's weird.
Is this because stream labels is fucking weird? Equal opportunity vampires.
My assumption, it should be at 52 right now. Maybe Jason revoked his subs.
he did a little. He
repossessed them.
Yeah, he requested a return from Twitch, and then they all went away.
I think we have to raid Monument.
Let's do it.
After being sponsored by them.
Yeah. We're going to raid Monument Hobbies, who is Jason, and also, maybe it's not Jason, maybe it is his...
It's both of them, it looks like, and... Yeah, it's at least both of them.
Okay.
Really small, so I can't see.
So we'll do that, just because they supported the stream so much. They absolutely deserve it. And also, their stream is great. We're not just giving it to them because they gave us money. They also are great hobbyists, have great conversations, and do a fun stream. So, I'll catch you guys not this Thursday.
Because this is a fifth Thursday.
This is a fifth Thursday. But next week we'll have 2 streams. Tuesday, a week from now, another painting stream. You're going to see more Greyjoy, okay? It's going to be happening. Then that Thursday after that, you're going to see Song of Ice and Fire, okay? This month is Song of Ice and Fire all the time. I'm in crunch mode. I got to paint an army, which is why I talked this entire stream.
Yeah, we got those drowned men partially done. 3 guys.
I could have easily, if I just painted these models, I could have easily painted these models in like 2 hours. Livid Code, thank you for the stream. Very happy to hear that it was enjoyable. It was very enjoyable. I love talking about stuff with you guys. It's so much fun. You teach me so much. I love sharing stuff with you about the game. Love painting minis. Love talking with Evan. It's all great stuff. This is all fun for me. But yes, we're going to send you over to Monument Hobbies for now. We'll catch you in a week for another Greyjoy painting stream, and then a gaming stream on Thursday at 7 p.m. CST. But otherwise, y'all, you guys have a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll catch you in a week. See ya.